let it move in whatever direction it initially was going on, unless every time that it's moving and swirling, there's something acting on it each of those times.
Like what? What's
It
force is
would be
causing it? What causes the acceleration
I mean,
upwards?
Herman's idea sounds plausible. Scott's idea could even be possible, depending on the context of what happens seconds before this footage starts.
What about mass attracting mass? You didn't think of that one, did you?
I don't think that's any way related to this.
Well, you got a large mass with his hand and a smaller mass with object. Looking at mass attracting mass. Goes down, he pulls it up like it's attached to string or something.
No, if it's his hand causing that movement and they're in space, you got a fucking real problem.
Look, his hand goes over, it comes down, pushes the water down, hand goes up, pulls the water up, bubble up. That's if he's underwater, but if he's in space, how would you explain?
You can't.
This proves that space then is fake. Lying to it. Let that sink in for a minute or two. But tried to give the best answer, which was pressure from the ISS. Okay, the debris leaves the ISS, fine. Reaches.
What's interesting is it's only his hand seems to do it. You watch the whole video, which I know you haven't.
I have.
You can see when various straps move around, these little particles move by unaffected.
Oh, he puts his hand down, the bubble goes down, then
Kimo, you should know by now I have very little patience for you not listening. Watch the whole video.
I'm watching it right now.
There's other things that move around that magically don't affect the water.
No. He happened to catch those two bubbles in the current.
You lying little shit. And I'm going to say one more. There are other things that move around and the particles don't react. You lying little shit.
Well, again, what we can see is cause and effect.
Well, you lot. Goodbye. I'm not talking to you anymore. Goodbye, Kimo. You're not worth it.
It was a good explanation, but again, we're looking for.
No. It's not only a good explanation. It's a refute of what you're claiming, because it rules out the idea of it being in a medium at all. If it was in a medium, again, then everything moving would make it behave the same way.
Yeah, but again, we're looking for cause and effect. Yes. So those objects were moving along already. They were in their acceleration, so they're going across. Now they're not going to move in any direction unless there's a force acting on them. Now,
part is clear, Clemo. Let's imagine that none of us have the information, and we have only what these videos have shown, which is the truth. This is all we have, is what these videos have shown.
Yeah.
And we're trying to figure out which thing it is. Well, now what we've done is we've ruled out which it can't be. And it can't be in a fluid medium the way you're thinking it is, because everything would, all this dust would move when everything's moving, not just his arm or whatever that is.
Not necessarily. I mean, he does push all the bubbles down, and then he just catches two on the way up. That's consistent with what we can see if they were underwater. But in space, this would never ever happen. He would not be able to drag them up. What is the cause of up in this case? Why did he go up? What's it being attracted to? Down, goes up. So they are doing it on purpose. So like I say, this is laughing at you guys. Because obviously
I think
this is a water.
I think they just missed it, Kimo. They probably just missed it. They missed things.
No, they didn't miss it because they cut it out. They played it, Jeremy, and then cut it.
We're gonna catch everything all the time.
No. They did it on purpose. They do things like that on purpose. So they're small, they're vague, they're quick, they're brief. And only if you're looking for those things, find them. Most people will not notice that.
You know, RT also will present stuff that shows that 9/11 could possibly be, the government could have been complicit and stuff like that.
They're not
show a
saying
lot of
this is
stuff
fake
that
though,
you
Kosher.
think
They're
they would hide.
supporting. They're supporting this. See, and all they're doing is just showing a little clip that it's not in space. It can't be in space. That action would not happen in.
Like I said before, we have the possibility of any conclusion being the truth, and you're just trying to figure out which one it is, and you can rule out this or rule out that. Well, based on what Terman had shown, I'm seeing it now in the full clip that it's not going to possibly be in a fluid medium. Otherwise, it would behave the way it should in a fluid medium.
Wouldn't the weight or density of the objects that he waves next to or moves next to, or how much he moves or how fast he moves next to them, wouldn't that matter on if the object's moved or not? Because you're acting like this is some way to dismiss the fact that his hand.
No, it's not dismissing that. I'm telling you, as I said the whole time, I have no idea why it's happening.
Yeah,
I'm also telling you that. So there's a scene in the full clip at about 2 minutes and 20 seconds. That's probably the one that Terman was talking about.
Where's that, Kosher?
There's a scene in there where there's something moving, like you're describing, and then something else right next to it is not.
Right. Wouldn't the objects, Kosher, wouldn't the objects and how fast the person moves and what the density or mass of the objects are that he moves next to, wouldn't that matter?
Would it matter for what?
Where's Turban's video?
Well, if I wave next to a fucking giant rope in the water, it might not move.
So that's not what I'm saying. There's not a giant rope. There's a flap. I'll play the video. I'll show you the video.
I can't look right now.
There's a flap in this video.
Driving.
All right. Well, I'll play it anyways.
I'm just saying, wouldn't the density or mass or something? I'd have to imagine that the objects would matter, that and how close he is to the objects, how fast he moves, what the other objects even are.
Well, I'll tell you what. The straps that you strap to your car, like when you're strapping those latches to your car.
Yeah.
This is, I'm talking about, and it has those flaps on them.
Yeah.
Well, there's one orange flap that is just kind of floating there as if it were in space or even in the water. It's just floating up, so it's not laying down. It's floating up. And then there's some of that turbulent stuff, that dust that seems to be moving for whatever reason. And there's like a red rope that's attached to them, and that's swinging. And it looks like that red rope is possibly making that dust move in some weird way, but it's not making that flap move at all. And if it was in a fluid medium, that flap would be affected by.
Wouldn't it matter how much it was affected by how dense or how much mass or weight or whatever the object has?
Yeah, but as it says, it's a flap that's just hanging off the side of it, so it's like freely hanging there.
Yeah, if there's a battleship hanging in the water, sitting in the water, and I go fucking wave my hand next to it, am I going to move the battleship?
No, this is not a battleship. This is a flap.
I understand that, but I'm showing you that now let's say there's a little dust particle floating, and I wave my hand near that, I'm going to move it a lot, right? And objects in between a battleship and a little dust particle would have a huge difference depending on how much mass or density they had.
Yeah, but if you were to see what I'm looking at, you would see that this thing would still move because of this.
How do you know that? Did you do the math?
Because it's not a battleship. It's just it's
somewhere
like
in between.
Even a really thick rope would move because of this.
Well, how do you know? How fast was he moving? How close was he to it? How do you even know this?
I'm basing that off of what's making the other objects in this scene do that. So if it's making the other objects move the way it's moving, it should make this flap move like that too, you would think.
Cause and effect, Kosho. We have an effect. We have a cause which can be repeated underwater. In the atmosphere, it can be repeated. What you're describing cannot be repeated. Just a guess.
You can. I was reading about something before I said something about this, about the static electricity and how it works in a vacuum. And I think Terman's right that it can sometimes weaker sources can actually give you stronger displays than here in our atmosphere.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look, your guess is just as good as the next man's.
I don't have a guess, to be honest.
Yeah, because if you know how physics works and stuff, you know that if you push your hand down, the objects are going to go down as we're seeing right now. And then when you raise it back up, the object may follow the line, may not. We follow the path, goes up. What's causing it to go up then? What force is causing
And we
that?
need someone more knowledgeable of fluid mechanics because there seems to be a lack of eddies as well.
Yeah, but what force is causing that to go? It's going down and then it goes up. What force causes the change of direction?
If you're in the water, it creates little whirlpools or little eddies.
No, in
which would cause
space.
circular motion
If
of
that's
small
in space
particles.
in the vacuum, what?
Chemo.
What?
Oh, sorry, was Chemo yapping away? I'm
No,
sorry.
I was going to say, yeah, just don't. Termin rarely speaks, man. There's no need to interrupt him.
No, it's my fault because I can't hear him.
Well, he wasn't speaking until after you started speaking, so. He was asking you. He's asking you what force.
So, like I say, you've got a change of direction. Now we know if we have like a snooker table, hit the ball, it's going to go in another direction, cause and effect. So we have this object go in one direction, and it moves in another direction without a force. Or is there a force? Is it being attracted to the hand? Or is he causing it through air displacement or water displacement? I mean, as I'm watching it right now, again, trying to see what you guys are talking about. Doesn't quite pair up. I mean, even the one that is in the middle of that is affected. Two of them are affected. So, I think if you try to explain to even in the comments or anyone who watches, they're not really going to accept your explanation.
What is our explanation?
Well, you're saying electricity.
So that possibly could be. I think all of us.
Possibly, exactly.
All of us.
Many possibilities,
no one can know, and even you could know. None of us can know.
Of course, we know. We know cause and effect. In effect, what caused it? His hand. Not rocket science. There's nothing there touching it. Change direction. Like I say with a snooker table, balls. Hit the ball, go in a direction, cause and effect. I mean, this is the end, isn't it? We've finally done it. Giving you exclusive, definitive proof that they simply cannot go to space because of this one simple action. I mean, we already knew it anyway with the bubbles, but
now you're saying it's not bubbles. That's the thing that you see.
No, I would say it's probably bubbles. How can it be debris underwater?
So what do they see? Well,
I'll go with debris though. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what it is. The fact is that
it does matter because it matters if you're going to be consistent. If you're going to say it's this in this case, but it doesn't work, if you're going to make up the other case.
Because we all know how important consistent is for Chemo.
Yeah, but the problem is that it ruins that argument, Chemo. And if you use that, it ruins this argument. So
it doesn't matter what the object is, right? The idea is that we have a change of direction. We have a cause. Very important because, like physics is true. That has to have force. And the only thing we see moving is hand there. In fact, those straps even start to come up a little bit, bottom left, and they cut the camera quickly. So that's not realized. So Taboo Conspiracy's done really well here. I don't know how he saw this. Good find. So there we've gone from, this is what we've had so far is Veach, he said they opened the door and then pressure, then I don't know how that ends up with changing the direction. Because again, there's no wind. So even if you open the door, that's just going to disperse out into the vacuum, not go along the side of the ISS.
The objects, if anything, if any pressure came off the ISS, it would make the objects go in a straight line. They wouldn't be going up, down, sideways, and all that. It's Newton's first law. This is clear cut right here.
Clear cut, yeah, I know. It's a sad day for the globe. I mean, I said this is big.
Yeah, because all pressures move in straight lines and are parallel to each other.
Once something leaves, once some pressure left the ISS, it would eject the things to make them go in a straight line.
So dumb.
Oh, call us names.
Well,
Call us
objects
names. They
have
abuse us
motion,
now
stay
because
in
we've
motion.
exposed NASA's fakery. Carry on, Veach. You're dumb with this, with that. Jeremy's this. He's that.
Oh, yeah, I give you the answer.
You guys think that you can come up with conclusions to what people in this room are admitting nobody in this room has enough information for?
You don't need that. It's got an effect.
You guys are the only ones making straight up like there's a conclusion and this has been solved or something.
There is a conclusion. We have an effect.
Possibilities for it. You guys are claiming to know the reason.
This is something that can be replicated anytime. In water. Got objects floating around. Wave your hand across them. You know what happens? Same thing as that object there in space is water. I told you this. So they might be up there, just underwater. They've got scoop on. I know it is shocking. Again, they're doing it on purpose, and they're giving us stuff like this. 2021 now, the big one, not just like your average bubble. They do it on purpose. Give us little bits of information like this, like a small little piece destroys the entire model, the entire charade gets destroyed. A big thing, one little video.
Hunter, what did he say again? Pressure makes objects go in a straight line?
That was terminals.
No, Jeremy said that, didn't he? Or was he?
Jeremy said that, yeah, and then Terman mocked it.
No, then technically Scott would be correct then.
About what?
He was joking.
Terman was
saying it sarcastically.
No, but I was saying.
I wasn't talking.
Never mind. I'll take enough for that one.
Open up your ears, Pipe.
Because Jeremy said pressure caused things to go straight, but
that was Terman.
And Jeremy was mocking it?
No,
I was mocking it.
Jeremy was implying the pressure would do that, and then Terman mocked it.
You're the one that brought up pressure, Veach, by saying they opened the door and pressure come out.
We know where all the debris came from.
So basically, Jeremy was saying there had to been pressure then. It wasn't the hand that was causing it.
No, there can be no pressure in space. If you any gases or any whatever he thinks is pressurized, just escape immediately. Wouldn't hang around like that. That was just debris going in the opposite direction of the ISS. But
I was saying Jeremy refutes your claim in the way he said it.
Jeremy still here?
Ran.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm still here. Hang on.
Here. Yeah, like I say, they do it on purpose. There's just no way they would allow that. I think Jeremy was saying that they did it by mistake. No way. They have people watching edited versions
Yeah,
over and over
whoever said
again.
that is absolutely right. Him cutting that's insulation totally destroys any thought that this is in water.
Yeah, I'm saying we even though we can't say what it is, we can certainly say that that's not what that it isn't that, because if it were moving in a fluid the way you're describing, you would see that effect with other parts of the video that he didn't play. He just played like a 10-second part from his or 5-second part from his video. If you played the whole video, his demonstration, you'd be able to see that it can't possibly.
So magic can happen in space. Then what caused the change of direction?
All right. Those objects would continue to move in a straight line unless acted upon by another force.
Right.
Well, then they're obviously being acted on by some other
Go
force.
on. What's the force, Kosho?
Yeah, I don't think you understand, Jeremy. No one has argued against that.
What's the force, Kosho?
We've said this a million times.
We're in outer space.
Even now,
Remember, there's
we're
nothing
giving
around.
suggestions of what it could be.
We're
Is
in
it
outer
gravity?
space. Remember, there's nothing around that.
All right, there's no forces in a vacuum. Okay, whatever you say.
Jeremy, things don't go in straight lines
All
in
right,
space.
but, okay,
They're
Termin,
all
you're saying there's
curved
forces. What
paths.
forces are there in space?
Well, on this scale, yeah. Well,
Hey, Rocket, have you seen this video?
Throwing stuff into space?
No,
Rocket,
no.
it's all over. It's done. Absolutely busted. NASA, the space wide open now. Everyone's
Help
feeling
us
a
out,
little bit
Kimo. We're
moody.
trying to show this video.
Shouldn't even bring
Rocket's
Rocket in.
rebuttal
Actually.
was that space time's bending, causing them to move.
You shouldn't even bring Rocket in.
which-
He's probably had a good day. The last thing he wants now is to know that it's all over for space.
I'm gonna post a video for you, but I don't know why Kimo's not helping out his own point. But
Because I'm saying that
I'm gonna
don't bring Rocket down now. Leave him to.
I'm gonna post the
have a good
original
day.
video that Kimo's showing. I'm gonna post a video Kimo's showing. I'm gonna also post the original that it comes from. I'm searching for the long version.
Cool, thanks.
Where it's got. But here's the one that Kimo's posted, and it's got all the information that he's claiming in there. And I'll post the original in a second.
Busted.
Hey,
Finally.
Kimo, why don't you ever give links to the original videos?
It's
Yeah,
in
but
the
why
link
taboo
there.
conspiracies?
It's in the video.
Yeah,
why
but
don't you
this guy?
Because it's in the video. You can see it in the video.
No.
Yeah, but
Why
why don't you-
taboo?
What?
Why taboo conspiracies? Because you know what he's done wrong, don't you?
No, what's he done?
Oh, you don't know then, do you?
Oh,
dear,
no. What's
Kimo.
he? Gives a clue.
Oh, Kimo, you realise that he keeps getting his channels taken down and he keeps coming back, right?
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, but you know
Goodness
why,
me.
right?
I feel like our time's ticking because they are cracking down. They're
Something's
getting banned
going
from
on,
Facebook
Jeremy,
just
yeah.
for talk. You're just getting banned.
Why?
from
Taboo
Facebook
Conspiracies
just for
was
talk.
taken down 4 years ago, Jeremy. So what the fuck
Yeah,
are
I
you
know.
talking about?
I know, but Facebook recently just banned someone just for flat Earth talk.
Yeah, but they also banned Tim. They also demonetized Tim Pool, Eric D. July, the Quartering,
Right,
a
for
bunch of
what?
other
For
people.
talking about flat Earth or breaking some other guideline or rules.
No,
Because Facebook made it
because they're
clear.
not doing as they're told.
Right, Facebook made it clear that they banned Nathan Thompson just for talking about flat Earth.
Yeah, you sure about that?
Yeah.
When did they say that? When did they say that, man?
Evidence,
And then-
please.
Well, I don't have it on me right now. Plus, I'm driving, so I don't even. I saw it on Brandon's or something.
Nice derailing there, Davros. Just destroyed
Yeah.
space.
Oh, sorry, I'm doing what you do, Chemo.
We've just destroyed space.
Your conversation was fucking boring.
Well, again, taking away the globe is not fun. Not exciting.
It's pretty clear.
But you
evidence.
lied again.
It's pretty clear evidence that is not in space.
We have
there.
But did you
What
go
I've
out
seen
in
with
into
that
space
debris.
and test it yourself?
No,
Did
we
you
have
do that?
definitive proof now.
Oh, you didn't go there, so your opinion matters now.
No, people went to space for us.
No, not for you, because you don't believe in it.
Yes, they did an experiment to see that if you move your hand
But
around.
you didn't do it. You didn't do it.
No, but we have a video of it.
You weren't there. You
No.
weren't there.
No, that's true.
Right then.
But we've sent.
So
we've
how do you
sent
know it even
astronauts-
happened?
Sent astronauts up there.
Yeah, but Chemo, how do you know it even happened, mate? Come on.
Because why would they lie? Why would they lie? Why would
Why
they
you
lie?
guys? So you guys like switch roles?
Why would they lie?
Why would they lie?
Hang
Exactly,
on, are
right?
you a Glober? I didn't know you were a Glober.
Yeah, but now
Well
we've
done,
just
Chemo.
debunked
Nice globe proof, mate. Good job.
I've just debunked the globe or space. At least we can talk about the globe later.
How
but
do you
it may
debunk a
still be
fact?
the Earth may still be curving, right? That's what you think, yeah? Curvature.
What?
Earth
you on
might
drugs?
be still curving, but space.
Seriously, are you on drugs? Seriously, what is wrong with you?
No,
you keep bringing up
I'm on
the
this
actual
video.
physics and then go, you think the physics is physics.
No, if there's an action, then if there, what is it, Jeremy? If there are objects in motion, you know all that stuff, Davros.
What's the first law, Jeremy?
Yeah, you know all the laws and that, yeah? No robot shall hurt a human. Oh, that's a different.
Yes, I think that's something different.
No robots. Oh,
You even fucked up the laws of robotics.
oh, what is it? I can't remember what it was. But look, seriously now, because look, you get a little bit giddy when you do something fantastic like this. Got to understand that, right? We've just broken the idea that space is a possibility. So you kind of get slightly excited. You're onto something. It's like
How do you not know there was a? Yeah, how do you not know there was a quantum fluctuation that caused the object to go in a different direction?
Now that sounds
Quantum fluctuation.
That's probably the best answer we've had so far. I like that because we've had pressure, we've had electricity. What did Kosho say?
I told you that, and all of us said the same thing.
No, you didn't. Veach said pressure.
That nobody has the answer.
Electricity.
Suggestions.
You said quantum fluctuation.
Yeah, Davros
I didn't say anything like
stellar
that,
answer
Chemo,
here.
or
Stellar.
Jeremy, don't lie.
Quantum flux.
No, I didn't, Chemo. I didn't say that. And if either of you guys
No,
lie about that again,
Davros,
No, not
Kosho,
you.
Davros.
Not you,
Davros said it.
So not you.
Not you,
Not you.
Davros. Davros said
Jesus.
quantum.
He didn't say that either. He asked you how you knew it wasn't. That's what his question was.
Yeah, we don't know, but that's a good, plausible.
That's not a possibility. That's not plausible.
Jeremy.
Oh, it isn't?
Like
But how do you know that?
I like the sound of that.
Jeremy?
Quantum flux.
You there?
anyhow, I posted the original 9-hour spacewalk.
Doesn't matter, Kosho. We only need that little second clip
It
there.
kind of does matter, Chemo, because in the examples in both the videos that
All right,
they
timestamp.
posted in the video from the 4-minute video, there's 4 minutes of footage maximum, where there's 9 hours of footage here, where you're going to get more examples of what's happening and
Okay, timestamp.
when it doesn't work the
Just
way
watch
that
the
you're
9 hours.
Oh, sure. Kosho, what's the timestamp?
Just watch the 9 hours.
Yeah, right.
Okay, you don't care? Then I don't care.
Look, we've got to be calm about this, Jeremy, because this excitement.
For examples of when this is occurring and when it's not.
Not fair on them, again, because NASA is laughing at them by doing stuff, exposing themselves, giving our side more ammunition.
This is no way painful, Chemo. In any way, if anything, it's
boring.
Same puzzle to solve, but it's not hard to solve.
Well, it's not
full footage.
exciting.
You get a better idea of what's
Like
happening.
if you took the flat Earth away from me, I'd be like, "Stop! This is boring. I can't handle it."
That's weird to me that you've had that.
God, I hope you do then.
Because you just said that you feel giddy that you have this space destroying thing. I wouldn't be giddy if I had, destroying the flat Earth or something like that.
No, because we've invested so much now, haven't we? All over the internet saying how the Earth is flat.
It almost would make you biased in how you read the embedded.
No, we're still holding on for the curvature, rotation and
okay.
stuff. But I'm just saying that
You just invested so much and all, and I figured you'd be so upset if it wasn't true. Just
No,
seems like
what
that's a recipe for bias.
No, what we've done is space is now definitively fake. Earth, on the other hand, is still in question, right? Because some people say it's curved, some people say it's flat. I go what I see. I see a flat horizontal horizon, which guys say is curved, but we're just trying to figure out how you know it's curved.
Space isn't even definitively fake based on this. Just means that one piece of video might be faked.
From NASA or from the Russian ISS. What are you talking about?
Oh, it was Russian collusion.
Yeah, they've because obviously
it was Russian collusion, Chemo. How do you know?
Do you know what it means actually? Because the Russians were the first in space, so they actually beat America. Because America didn't go to the moon, it means they haven't really achieved anything more greater than the Russians.
because we share the ISS with them.
The Russians also, you guys say that a reflector on the moon, when the Russians already sent a signal up, something up there, and got a signal back off the moon, like a radar.
Oh, they were the ones that put the reflector on there.
No, they didn't go to the moon yet. This was
So
like
does
in the 30s or something.
that mean that space is real then?
No,
Good job.
they
Well
didn't
done,
say
Kimo.
about
Thank you very
space. I
much.
said about the
We didn't
moon.
manually put the
Winning
reflector
again.
on there.
I didn't say about space. I said the moon. They've already sent a thing up.
Yeah, but
signal
you
back.
just said the Russians were first into space.
Yeah, so they were the
Thanks. Well
first to
done.
go up
Good
to the
admission there,
highest
mate.
heights that you can possibly go. Yeah? Call it
Yeah.
space.
You
can call
said
it...
space.
Go
You
with that.
said
We can
space.
go with that. We can go with that. But what we know about space now is if there's debris around you, you can, waft it around and have it move in directions.
Yeah, but you said earlier today when we talked about bubbles, when you didn't realize that you're switching hats, that you're like bubbles, like it has to be bubbles. It can't be debris in water.
No, I didn't
That's what you
say
said.
bubbles. Pyro brought up
Yeah,
bubbles.
yes, you just said bubbles.
Show me
That's
where I
because
said
it
bubbles. Go
was,
back
it
on
was
the
when
tape
you
and
were
show
on
me where I
that
said
you
bubbles.
were wearing the bubbles hat.
No. Pyro said bubbles.
Yes, you did. You said bubbles. I
You
remember.
totally said
Hang on.
if it's underwater, it's bubbles. If it's in space, it's debris.
Yeah, but I
Yep.
didn't initially start saying it was bubbles.
So that's
you
why
said it
I
was
said
bubbles.
welcome to the globe when you said it.
Yeah.
Wow. So has
Like I
Kimo
said, the
dropped
globe
his
is
flat Earth
always
hat?
an option because there's just
They
no
keep
way.
fucking up, don't they? All flat earthers, the last couple of weeks, they just keep fucking up and saying
How?
stupid things.
They're like
Well, you've
trapped-
just admitted that space exists.
Yeah, we can beg the question, right? We can work with that. What's the problem?
No, but you admitted that the Russians were the first into space, the first to send a signal and get it back from the
You're practically a
moon.
NASA fanboy.
Well, it'd be
No
a
shit.
It'd be
He
a
knows
Rasa,
this shit
a
better
Rasa,
than we do.
a Rasa fanboy, or
Yeah,
Yeah.
NASA shill.
not NASA for Rasa.
Actually, I reckon he's a Roscosmos fan more than anything.
Roscosmos fanboy.
He's
That's what it is.
infiltrated
theory,
the flat Earth on behalf of NASA.
You know what I think? I think Kimo has always been a big NASA fanboy. He applied, he tried to get in, they rejected him, he became belligerent, and that's why he pretends to be a flat earther.
He did have a background image of space when he showed us his computer one time, like all these planets and stars and. Just
Right.
Maybe.
Wow, the Kimo conspiracy. I'm gonna
These
write
9-hour
it.
videos. You can't ever find the fucking part. I can't find any parts of debris. It's like so.
Actually, quick
I
question.
told you, Kosha. I'm not
Kosha?
looking for that 9-hour video. So look, if that is space and that is debris, then obviously these things can't happen. So
You said that if somebody had a 24-hour sun, you would sit down and watch the entire video for 24 hours because that's what it would require. You said this 2 days ago.
yeah, so
Why can't you look through a 9-hour video? You don't have to watch the whole thing.
not on 9 hours of debris, is it?
That's what I'm saying. It's like searching for debris.
9 hours of debris with his hand wafting around. We'd watch that for sure.
Really? Yeah. Why?
See
Oh,
how
you
the
watch it
cause and
9
effect. Cause and
You're
effect.
crazy.
Kimo,
I think Joseph Mengele's got to him.
Kimo, wouldn't you need to be able to actually simulate that in a pool and show that it could be done that way? Because so far you're just saying that looks funny, and so it's fake. But you haven't closed the loop. You have to demonstrate that.
Yeah, but Rocket was saying there's a change of direction, right? Now, what caused that?
Kimo, you can. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just asking you. I was finished. What caused that direction change?
I mean, a number of things. Those things could be static. Those things could be particles could be charged and attracted to, to various objects that are around them.
Electricity. Yeah, that's what Terminus says.
But hang on, which way do
We
bubbles
don't
go
need you,
with
Rocket.
water?
We've got Termin as a rocket scientist now. He gave that answer.
We know for
you see,
certain it's
Kimo?
not bubbles, don't we? We know that for certain
No,
because
not unless it's.
I tell you why. I tell you why we know it for certain. Because bubbles have certain characteristics, right, that define a bubble. Things like, for instance, usually bubbles are in groups. Not always, but usually you get groups of bubbles moving together in one, more or less the same direction. Usually they wobble around as they move. Usually they grow as they move as well, as they move towards the surface, right? And usually they're round.
Yep.
Yeah, but what I think they're doing, I think they're
So what we see in this debris is none of the characteristics of bubbles. None of them.
But what I think is that they're
I like
doing.
how Jem
It's
says
not
bubbles.
just straight water.
Bubbles.
So they're doing something.
I say it in a bubbly way.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
It
is,
is
you
very
think when,
bubbly.
when we say water, you're thinking just straight water. But no, they do something to make it, so there were less like
To make bubbles
waves.
not round.
No, they
They
put
were saying
something
gay.
in the water.
Yeah.
They put something in the water.
What
To
do they
make
put in
bubbles
there?
not round.
No, they
You
don't.
mean chlorine? Yeah, they put chlorine in there.
Yeah,
No,
just chlorine, because when they pee in the
NASA
pool,
were
they
dealing
need
with,
something
they
to
get
disinfect
60
it.
million a day to think.
Here we go.
Show me
I
the
gotta see.
medium. Show me the medium that makes bubbles square, rectangular, flat. Show me the medium that does that.
I want to see
What?
the medium where bubbles
Oh,
go
God.
left.
Well, remember, they're not actually like the right way up. They're really deep.
Because even in oil, bubbles go to.
Anyway, we can go with debris. Want that, but again, that debris
Vacuum.
is moving in ways which defies.
They're not spy physics, but so anyways, debris in water. So this is the difference between debris in water and debris in the vacuum. Is let's assume that video that we saw before is an anomaly, or we don't have the answer for it yet. Because normally, if there is nothing acting on it, it would continue into a straight line without slowing down even. Whereas debris in water is not going to continue in a straight line, because if it's for some reason buoyant or whatever, it's just going to go up. But if it's not buoyant, then it's going to go downwards and away. So if something had pushed outwards, that outwards direction is going to slow down as it continues to move that way, and it's also going to start going downwards. It's not going to keep on continuing in some direction continuously for whatever reason.
And if you have turbulence in water, it'll tend to swirl.
No, all he did
I
was
think I need to go and get
Unfortunately,
some
that's what's happening.
cheese.
It is swirling.
all he did was lift his hand up, and it pulled the bubble or debris, whatever you want to call it, the object, up with him.
Yeah, it'll swirl.
And that's
There'll
when
be eddy current
that's when they
forming
cut the
behind your
camera.
hand as you pull up, and it'll swirl.
They cut the camera.
Right.
Mark. Cut the camera.
I was
Oh,
thinking
these guys
that.
don't know. Yeah, these guys don't like eddies. They don't understand that could cause a
Well, that's what
dip in
Turbine
the
had said
water.
also.
Yeah, but again, at the
in
end
the-
of the day, guys, we're looking for cause and effect. So we see a change of direction. There has to be a cause. It's not magic, right?
What
Things
about the
like water, it
effect?
doesn't even follow the physics of water that I've seen.
But how do you
You've
know
already
that a
conceded that
secondary effect?
we don't know what the effect is on hand. We have some possibilities.
No, we do know.
But-
We've seen that before, Kosher. That's nothing strange to.
But yeah, I timestamped the 9-hour video. Timestamped it at a part where there's other debris that is moving in the way I described. Does not.
No, not other
happen in water.
debris.
It's moving in a
Gotta
straight
be this
line.
debris.
Nothing's making it move in different directions, and it's continuing.
Yeah, why bring us the other debris? Talking about this frame, important one that shows as he puts his hand down, the bubbles fall down. As he lifts his hand up, debris, bubble, whatever object moves up.
There's not enough information about that short clip to make a determination.
There's
So just-
more than enough because we see it go down, and then we see it go up.
That's not
What
enough.
more information do you need?
How do you know there's not static between him and the object?
So you think there's electricity in a vacuum space?
I didn't say
Of course
that.
there is.
Outside,
But
well,
how do you
how does
not
that work?
know that? How do you know that may not be a possibility?
You're not going to have electricity running around in the vacuum.
Of course they will.
I
How?
You
said
can have,
static.
there's something. I was about to post this other stuff called. Let me find it again because I had to close my windows. But it was something called like a static arc or something like that. Hold on.
So you think there's lightning in space now?
You just keep dismissing everything.
You just need to accept it and think about
Why?
what.
You're the one who's dismissing everything and giving us globe proof after globe proof. So what is wrong with you today?
But I know you have to defend it. I get it. But it's
I'm not
glaring you
defending
in
it.
the
You're
face.
the one bringing the evidence of the globe.
There was no globe there, by the way.
But you showed it
That's a fisheye lens.
in your video.
That's a fisheye lens. You know what that is? Obviously not.
Dude,
Let me educate you.
What does a fisheye lens mean?
Exactly. So it widens the image.
Wait, he asked you a question.
Fisheye lens. What does it mean? It means a wide lens. Get a wide
The
frame.
characteristics of a wide-angle lens.
Get to see a lot more, and it bends the image.
Will it
that
tend
you're
to bend things in above and below the frame in the foreground?
No, I'm just saying the Earth he saw wasn't the curvature; it was fisheye.
Were there straight things in the shot? If it was, then it wasn't a fisheye.
No, that wasn't the curvature.
Unless
of the Earth.
unless everything is bent, you're wrong.
No. Again, if that's underwater, that is a projection.
No.
screen.
Yes, I didn't address that point, dumbass. I mean, Chemo.
What was your question, David?
Oh wow, everybody else did.
He basically
Why
said,
are there
if it
straight
was-
lines?
Yeah, why is there straight lines if it's bent in one section but not the rest?
Because that is a screen of the Earth. That particular.
So the black swan was taken with a fisheye lens too, because the one in the back's got the bendy bits, but the one in the
No,
front
that's
doesn't.
a cinema screen, like an underwater screen.
Ah, so it is bent, so it doesn't need a fisheye lens.
Not in that particular shot, no.
Well, then you didn't need to mention fisheye because it's obviously not a fisheye
I wasn't
lens.
sure which one he was talking about, but now I get it. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Many videos were
But
posted.
that was the contradiction there, King. Like that
Many
was your
videos were
contradiction.
posted. I've got to get it right. So you're talking about the one with the Earth there. Yeah, that is the screen behind the astronaut. Water. Giant green screen.
See Chemo's video. I still haven't seen it yet. What time
Wait
is
till
he?
you see this,
don't.
Chemo's video.
Wait till you see
had
it,
to
Moya. I tell you, you're going to be like, how did that move direction? But you'll see it straight away, obviously. Obvious.
It's a question that you'll ask
Moyok.
But if you try answering it, then you're going to be dishonest. I'll tell you that.
But Moyok, you're going to look at it and you're going to go, "He's full of shit."
Well, just look at it. Give him the original.
No, not the original. Here's the video. It's not the original. This is the one that Kimo posted though. The original's in the description, but I'll post it too. Hold on.
Chill faking space.
Yeah, that's the one that
that's
Kimo
the one you wanna
does.
watch.
That one has the scene in it. That
Only a short video, minute long or so. But there's enough there to damage and destroy the globe just simply by this object moving in a different direction. Impossible in space. Impossible.
It's not impossible,
Hang on.
Kimo.
Yeah.
According to the law that you didn't remember that Jeremy was telling to us, Newton's first law, an object goes in an object will move in the same
An
direction
object in motion.
unless acted on by a force. So all that has to happen is a
There's
force.
no
has to be acted on.
force, Kosho. What's the force? You haven't mentioned the
You can't
force.
say that. You can't say that, Kimo. There's no way to know. There's no force.
What is the
I'm giving
force
you
then?
suggestions.
Hypothesize.
Well,
what is the force?
People have given you perfectly reasonable assumptions based on the possibility of them being capable of doing that. So the ones determined in the
What
sky
would
had
be
said.
charged with? So you're saying that that piece of debris has electricity flowing around it,
It's
and
possible that-
somehow it was drawn to his hand.
but there's some static charge on the object that's moving, whether it's his arm or whatever that thing is, and it's possible that the debris.
Yeah, but he's
also has
got he's got
charge on
water in his suit. When he get electrocuted,
No, why does that make sense?
he's got water and there's
Hang on.
electricity.
But
I have
Chemo,
electricity on my boat, and I don't get electrocuted.
Chemo, I can show you someone welding underwater. So you're full of shit.
This is stated in Newton's first law of motion, which is often called the law of inertia. What the law states.
We know, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Kosho.
Go
Kosho
ahead, man.
explained it to you. Did you explain to him already, or?
Just go ahead,
Davros, don't be
just
so
finish what you're saying.
rude, Davros. When Jeremy's talking. Come on.
Can't help
Basically
it. That's
says
my
if an object
disposition.
if an object
so
is
rude,
moving,
Dav.
it will move in a straight. If an object is moving, it will move in a straight line unless acted upon by some force at an angle.
At some different angle, but I mean, even at the same angle,
Any
it would
angle.
make it go faster. Maybe make it go faster or slower, but a different angle will make it go a different direction.
Okay, that's fine.
Either way, yeah. So so it's clear that something is acting on it, and like I said, without other than suggestions, it'd be wrong of us to, with only that 10-second clip tell you exactly what it is.
In your video, Kosho, what's the timestamp for what we're witnessing in Chemo's video?
Oh, I haven't found it yet. The 9-hour video, I haven't found it yet. In the 4-minute video, it's clear when it is, but there's only 4 minutes. But let me find it.
Now, if this was in water or some other medium, not space, then it would depend on how close the object is to the person moving to deflect it off a straight path, and what the density or mass of the object, and you know what I mean.
See, that's the problem. We already ruled that out. It's at the 40. It's about 40.
No, you
40
haven't
seconds.
ruled that out, because I'm telling you that just because those straps don't move doesn't mean that that's not what's happening.
Yeah, but it's not
because No, you didn't rule it out.
Okay, so first of all, I didn't tell you the full part of that scene. In that scene, the strap is moving because someone's tugging on it at the other end. So it's moving because of kinetic, forces that are acting on the whole rope together. That's behaving in an exact way that you would imagine that to be happening due to somebody pulling at the other end of it. But it's also something is waving next to it, and that thing waving it is not transferring that energy like it would in a medium over to that rope.
Something waving next to it, it would determine on how fast the thing's moving, the density of both of the objects, the surface of them. There's a lot of factors at play.
I feel like you should. I feel like before you talk on this one, you should watch that video at the 2-minute.
There's a difference between moving a strap and moving a tiny little dust particle.
Look, Kosho, you can't explain your way out of a wet paper bag, right? You understand the cause.
It's so ridiculous. He's already explained. You've heard the answers. Like, what are you even saying?
I've already given you my explanation. If I wave my hand next to a battleship, I'm not going to move the battleship.
Jeremy, you have to be honest that you haven't seen the clip yet to even say something like that. You'd see how ridiculous that is to say that if you saw the part I'm talking about.
Jeremy, I've seen it.
When you're in poker, when you're playing poker and you just bet. I forget what it's called, but you just bet without even looking at your card.
Bluffing.
Royal flush.
Oh no, that. What he does? No, not royal flush.
I don't know.
It's what he does in rounders. He does that in rounders whenever he's playing against those rich guys.
I forgot the name of it, but there's a name you can bet without even looking at your cards to go to the flop.
It's called a blind bet.
He bets the whole hand without looking at his cards. A movie, at least.
Blind betting is what it is.
Something like that.
It is. It's a blind bet because you haven't seen what you've got. It's blind.
There's a slang term for it that I can't remember.
Well, poker face. Poker face.
It's called. No, it's called blind.
No, there's another term for it.
Oh my god.
The term is blind bet.
Hey, listen, it's irrelevant. The fact is, I don't even need to see the video to debunk you guys.
That's what you're yeah, you actually do, man. I mean, to not sound, because like I said, you're gonna sound like an asshole if you're just making these claims without even seeing the video. So it's like
no, my claims are solid. It would depend on the density, mass, how fast the object was moving near it, whether it would have any effect on it or not.
Yeah, but when you see the video, you see that those would be irrelevant to have those.
Have you not seen it, Jeremy, yet? The Boo Conspiracy.
No, I'm talking about the part from the original video, the 2-minute 20-second part. I don't even think you've seen it, Chemo. That posted a while ago. 2 minutes and 20 seconds, Chemo.
What is it? The same debris video?
Same video, the RT one that he got it from at 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Is it the same debris video?
Got it from? Yes.
You got the timestamp then, yeah? You found that part?
2 minutes and 20 seconds. Yeah.
20. Do you not hear?
Oh, where's the video then?
When Kosho posted 9 hours.
In the breathtaking one, Kosho. Is that the one you mean? From RT?
That's right. That's right. Hold on.
Use the globe. Feel it.
I just got back. I finished eating. I don't know what you're talking about.
Kosho, I thought you meant
someone up.
I thought you meant the original of that clip.
I have that one too, but this is the one that he got it from. He didn't get it from the original.
I know. Where's the timestamp in the longer?
Bubbles curved.
Where's the timestamp in the longer?
Curved.
version?
If you're just now checking in.
You're debunked, Curved. We just debunked space.
These clowns.
We just debunked space.
I've just wrecked them, Curved.
No longer believe that there's bubbles in any of those pictures because those bubbles turn out that it's actually debris. And
No. The other ones are bubbles. This is debris in this case. We can go with that. But we see
there's a scene in this video that Taboo Conspiracy posted or published where the debris is moving in a way that would indicate, like, he's claiming it's like somebody in water, so it moves in 3 different directions, goes down and up, and back up again.
Or taboo.
Well, I'm perturbed by Chemo's lazy pronunciation on bubbles.
No, you don't even need to check this out. It's already been done. They've already tried to give their explanation.
What's been done?
Space is done. It's
No. Just bubbles. Say bubbles.
Bubbles.
Nah, put more emphasis into it. Bubbles.
Bubbles.
Boobly. Fizzy boobly.
So, like I say, we've done a job on space. Now it's on you.
Hang on, does that mean space exists, Chemo?
No, we've just debunked space. It doesn't exist. Just showing you that this.
But you just said you did a job on space.
Bambi now, but here's the video.
The one with the straps is they move way too fast to be in water. It's like there's no viscosity to the fluid.
Like that in water. You just can't.
I
It doesn't
took
work.
Who let Zanuck free?
We need a Russian speaker as well to translate what this guy actually says.
Who ran
Wasn't
Lisa
he a
off?
Polish astronaut
He
before?
says in Russian, he says, if you think the Earth is flat, you're on crack.
I'm going to Mexico in March to meet my Russian ex.
I can't watch taboo conspiracy videos.
Zanuck, I can't do it.
I watch on you get the gist of what he's showing. If you don't want to watch that one, you can watch the minute video. He got it from at the 40-second part.
But having taken fluid dynamics, you can see so many clues that these objects do not move as if they were in that medium, a liquid. It's not possible.
No, Zanuck, what happens?
Hang on. Zanuck's getting a clue.
You don't understand, Zanuck, what happened. So he put his hand down and the object moved down. Then he raises his hand and the object moves up.
He imparted a little bit of upward momentum. Doesn't take much of anything because things in
Zanuck.
Go on, Zanuck, listening.
Do you speak Russian, Zanuck?
Da.
Look, we need a competent Russian interpreter. We don't have one. Why not? It's a shame.
Yeah,
you
where's
suck at
Lisa?
it, Chemo.
Did someone drive her away?
What kind of Russian spy can't interpret Russian?
Well, Chemo should be able to do it.
Yeah, Chemo, you can speak Russian. What does this guy actually... No, we don't trust you, though, do we? Of course. Sorry. Silly me.
You forgot he's a Russian cosmos infiltrator of NASA.
When it said came up with him, surely you picked up something.
No, it's not about me.
What do you say this guy says at the end of this video, though, Chemo?
I didn't say anything, did I?
No, but I'm asking you now what he says.
It's not about me. Again, it's got the...
No, it's not. It's about him. What does he say?
Juan.
I'm not asking what you say.
Says what they say, yeah.
Are you sure?
He says what they say.
Does he say exactly what they say? If we get a real Russian interpreter in here, will they say it was the exact same words?
No, it's not the best translation, but it's similar, yeah.
Okay, so what would the best translation be then, Chemo?
It's pretty much what he says, yeah.
But what they've said is not the best according to you. So what would the best be?
That is it's a translation. Gives what he said.
Just so you know,
I think we should.
My ex-wife's Polish.
Everyone agreed we should spend an hour on this point, all quizzing Chemo about this singular point, which is clearly making him so uncomfortable.
Well, I think you should tell us,
please.
Squirm breath, Chemo. I love it when you squirm.
Yeah, you are squirming totally.
No, I mean, it's there for...
I may know a little bit of Russian.
Look, computer-savvy people. Doesn't Google Translate have a feature where you can play the audio to it? It will hear it and translate it for you.
Oh, God, I don't know about that.
It should.
Anybody know how to work with that if it exists?
There's services like that, but I don't think Google Translate will do that.
Look to see if there's a transcript on the video and then take that transcript and put it into Google Translate.
Cheating.
My ex,
or it may have closed captions, which you can
Yeah, of
turn
course
from
it
Russian
does.
to English.
It does. It has them, and it has them in Russian. So you'd have to take the text and put it in the.
As it in Russian, does it? Well, that's doable.
It says click.
Get on it, Kosho.
It might do it in English. Hold on. Yeah. You can get YouTube to translate it. So hold on.
Every time I've ever tried YouTube Translate, it's disabled for this video.
Find out. No, it's in English. Hold on.
Nice. All right, Chemo certified it. Let's see how correct it is.
So far, I'm not saying anything. Actually, now that I think about it, RT, when they play these clips, they don't talk. Yeah,
Because they're smart.
Yeah, it didn't come up, did it?
RT is smart, Kosho.
No, they're talking. They're talking. Hold on. Sorry, go ahead.
If they play audio, they'll get in trouble. If they don't play audio, no one can find out they were wrong.
You know, most clips they don't speak during the clip, but they just show like something that happened. But in this one, they're saying something. But hold on.
Didn't they formally claim that this was a Polish astronaut, or is that a different one?
That's a different one. That's the Polish ones where he's on the left of from your position, he's on the left side of the screen, and then laughing about what he's saying. So it's all bullshit anyway.
Right? Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Not to mention,
just
I
talking about
know
what the
a
Earth
little
looks
bit
like
of Polish, so yeah. He says some words in there that's basically is full shit, right? Is what he says.
He's not really saying anything. He's just saying what the Earth looks like. It looks round.
Zanuck, are you there?
A 9-hour video. I still haven't found
I am
it.
here. Yep.
I'll post it again.
I can't do it right now, but later I have a way to debunk the notion of you thinking that the Coriolis effect has anything to do with conservation of momentum.
Get off your
not right
physical
now,
laws
later.
of motion.
I just wanted to say later. I'll do it later with you, maybe, or tomorrow or something. As soon as I can.
You should have teased him, man, because he's
Send me a private message and give me the high level.
I give him something.
I'm very curious with your. Just give me a quick teaser on my private message.
You have to re-explain Newton to him.
Man.
Jeremy, you have a track record with doing these.
Every time he announces it ahead of time.
or something's upcoming.
Exactly.
So
He went to
I'm
my
gonna
school.
debunk it in here, in front of everyone, so
Uh-huh.
everyone can see.
Okay.
It's such a letdown every time, Jeremy. I gotta tell you, I get my hopes up.
Get excited.
Nothing.
Jeremy, can you
Get
verbalize it? Just real like the highlight, like a title, like the movie.
Oh God, man! Just get it correct.
Just
Star Trek.
Just give
Oh, you two get a
To go where
room.
no man is going. Just something like a title.
Just wait. You just gotta wait for it.
Oh my God! Total blue balls.
It's called
Just goes to right.
Zanuck and Jessica get a room together.
Total blue balls, as Kosho said. You're killing me.
there you go, Moya. I timestamped a particular
I'm gonna have
part.
to be watching Nathan video right now just to get my fix.
Well, Brummy made a rap song where he's basically revering Nathan and Quantum Eraser, and he's completely making everybody in this server except for Curve look like fools.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Apparently looking for.
Why not Curve?
You got it time stamped, but it doesn't have the particles changing directions, does it?
Then not in the scene that I posted and timestamped. I haven't found where that 9-hour video has that 10-second scene in it.
But it is supposedly the same flight.
It should be. I looked up the spacewalk history, and all the ones that weren't American. The only one that was any time in the time frame was in November 2020. So
There's also a possibility that they're showing video of the training, and it could be in a tank for all we know. It may not be in the video. So far, I haven't found it, and then I don't see any place where they have that one tank in the distance I haven't found that dark scene where anywhere in here yet.
And in the other scene, in that 4-minute video, it's in the 40-second part.
Right, but I don't see any place that matches that background. I don't see any place, anything of the earth.
I think it was, as I said, it's in that 40 seconds in that one clip. Let me see.
Right, but I'm looking at the 9-hour video trying to find that.
Got it, yeah.
And I don't see any
so you were
place.
looking through it. Okay, I see, yeah.
Yeah.
It's damn near impossible to find that. I've tried that with other videos before. Trying to find like a specific part of it. It's so fucking hard to
dark
see
scenes.
exactly what that shit is.
The scenes with black backgrounds.
Okay, now I was supposed to do something a second ago. I was supposed to go to something.
I'm trying to see if I can. Ah, here he is. Just as I speak.
Oh, the Brummy thing.
Yeah, the cosmonaut saying we haven't been to space.
Well, I was just listening to it again, and he's speaking in Russian, but you've got someone talking over it in Ukrainian.
Oh, is that rearing its ugly head yet again?
Oh, right.
Hang
Interesting.
on, you got somebody in Russian talking in Ukrainian.
Why is somebody talking
so that
over
makes
in
it even
Ukrainian?
better.
But he does say something like, if someone tells you about space, it never happened. Something like, because again, there's voices over it.
Oh, wait, you're talking about the Polish astronaut thing? Oh.
No, he's speaking Russian. But like I said, someone is speaking.
I know, but you're talking about the guy says it's flat? That one? Space is fake or something? I thought you were talking about this other video, but I got you. And here's the Brummy thing I was talking about.
I wonder if the Ukrainians realize they're not speaking Russian.
It's very similar. I mean, it's a different language.
It's completely the same. It's the same as how Polish people can talk to Russians.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like, it's kind of like Farsi and Arabic also. It's like, there's huge differences, but there's also a lot of similarities. It's probably kind of like Spanish or French.
It's like Spanish to Mexican. That's the similarities.
I don't think so.
It is.
Video might be misrepresented because I don't think it's in here.
Like I said, I looked at all the spacewalks, and this is the only one that was a Russian one in the past like year. But let me see.
Would you say Spanish to Mexican? Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's what he said. That stuff like that without any sort of shame or anything.
So racist.
Yeah, Chemo would help if you actually did provide your sources.
Oh yeah, Mike, it is the same. It is the same footage because I'm looking at that same object, but from a different angle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
what timestamp?
Yeah. Well, I mean, let me see if I can find a better scene. But if you have the video open, it's at 4 hours and 56 minutes.
Chemo.
Okay, I'm only 317, so let it go 456.
Chemo supplying a source. That's funny.
The original is in the video. You've got the title to find it.
Yeah, no, not the original.
Yeah, not the original. But it's a big one. He only just put that out there. It got a couple thousand views immediately. Everyone spotted it. Got a lot of praise for finding it. And it's just getting worse and worse. Globe.
Yeah, Chemo, you're right.
You got 200 comments.
It puts you guys under more pressure to prove that space is real.
Just under any pressure. The only ones you can say anything, the ones dumb enough like me. I'll just speak for myself. Just trying to have fun, figure this shit out. But nobody cares about this.
Anybody feeling that pressure? Anyone?
I think we're
really
pressure.
Under no pressure.
I think like
No,
it would
no,
be.
No pressure.
I think for you guys, it would be a travesty if it did end debate. So things that are conclusive like that, you don't want. You know, you want to be able to keep the discussion going as long as you possibly can. But you need a strong argument. You need a strong side. Oh, did you see that debate last night, Jem? The moon landing. Watch it.
No, I didn't watch it. I meant to. Was
Was
it any
It's
good?
so funny, yeah. Like he says, you're gonna get so frustrated. He brings up funny thing on the way to the moon and stuff. And I was just thinking, if you were on there, you'd have probably challenged all of what was said. But you want to get on there, and
I know, I kind of think that, but then I think I don't want to do it in case I get someone like,
What's it?
you know, Jara White.
No. I'm saying you should ask that guy. I think
It's a real like rocket bod who claims we didn't go. You know.
No, the guy that was on last night. You should try and speak to him.
I mean, Stein, his name, something Stein, or they just call him Stein.
Alex, I think.
Yeah, he was actually quite funny. I saw him. He was on Jaren's show the night before on Friday.
Yeah, he goes on Jaren's show. That's right.
He's quite funny, I thought.
I'm looking for these.
He got really angry yesterday, though. He was proper triggered yesterday.
He mentioned his arguments, and you know, it was the same old stuff. And he preceded it with the what we often hear is anybody who believes that we actually went to the moon. Anyone who believes that now, it must be just so asleep. You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, but it's funny because I want to hear your response to things like this. No, and then I see.
Yeah, I probably ought to put myself forward and have a go at that one, but sure. I kind of thought about it last time, and then I thought, well, they've just done one now, so they won't be doing another one for a while.
No, they'll do another one straight away. They're doing a flat Earth one tonight or tomorrow, I think. Another one.
I kind of felt like I was sort of famous enough to be asked.
No, I mean, I think they don't know if you're still debating. You know, nobody knows.
I'm obviously not famous enough, am I?
No.
If they have witches on that show, they're sure they'll have you.
Got publish or perish, man.
Get yourself on there, but
yeah,
it'd just be interesting to see because, like, what he was saying is like what we've heard you argue against. You know, so it would have been interesting.
You have a link to that?
That
Coach,
guy, he didn't even know the astronauts that went to the moon.
That debate, Mr. That's in.
Yeah, Coach.
And the other thing is, I think, especially for that sort of a thing, like with the funny thing happened on the way to the moon, you know, you could do a really nice debunk of that, but you really need to be able to show the videos. And there isn't really the opportunity to do that, is there, on modern day debate? They don't really do that.
To do what you can play 10 minutes of your how we know we went or something. You only get 10 minutes for opening.
You could you can play a video as an opening.
Yeah, he played like a 10-minute video.
That was one of the first things he did.
Yeah, so you could play it opening your 10 minutes and then you could look at what he just said and then just answer it with what you've got or something.
Yeah, he was actually screen sharing the whole time because you have like their faces in all four of those corners, and then he, I guess, wasn't savvy enough to figure out how to not have their faces on his screen show up on their screen. So it's like they saw their faces like 3 times. You'll see when you look.
I posted an image a couple minutes ago. I just want to make sure we're talking about the same thing because I don't see where the hell is it? I don't see any place where this image is happening. The one that we've been talking about with the hand moving through the dust or the flakes or particles. I don't see anything that says CCP, the black tank like that.
I'll find confidence as the same videos. Hold on.
Everyone else sees it more, but you.
No, I don't see this in the long video, Chemo. I'm trying to see it in context.
No, it's just a short clip, but they have to cut it really quickly.
Gosh, Chemo, come on.
Retard, I'm trying to find it in the video. In the big video.
Oh, right.
And I don't think it's in there.
Yeah.
So
Well,
if this is claiming to be the same mission,
success.
this could be a training mission in a tank. We don't know anything about this
Oh,
video.
would love that
No,
one.
they say they're describing in the Russian whenever they show Russian talking in the 4-minute version of the video. They talk about what the Earth looks like and all that kind of stuff. So they're definitely in space in the video.
Synced up with the same language. I mean, this, like I said, this could be. We don't until I see it in the original video. I don't know anything about it. I know that there's enough dishonesty in the conspiracy community that this could be completely fabricated.
Put confidence back in your.
That's an
heart.
answer, though.
Also.
At least fabricate.
Misrepresented.
Well, look, there's a change of direction, Moyak. What is the cause?
I know that. I know that. That could be anything. Anything from it could be in a fluid,
Okay.
like they're in a tank,
Okay.
to it could be electrostatic.
Okay.
And I guess I'd put those two up as possibilities.
Yeah, I like your first hypothesis.
I think we don't have enough context because even the things
Even claim it could be even not claimed to be in space except for the video. That's why you need the original to know the context of this was STS mission blah 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 or ISS mission this, spacewalk this. Then you can say, hey, oh yeah, this looks legit. Your little tiny clip could be misrepresented.
Well, just look at the where we got it from.
For somebody who doesn't trust videos, I would think that you'd be a lot more keen to find out the history on the video.
We know how NASA works and edits and clips, and that was.
Well, this isn't NASA; it's Russia. So
same thing.
Russia's not NASA.
They work together.
No, same thing.
Work together. All the space agencies work together. But
I don't know if they'd ever have the tank darkened like that. So I'm going to say it's probably not a tank. It's not a fish tank.
That's a swimming pool.
No, it's probably not a swimming pool. Because I don't think I think that's usually done in full light.
In a vacuum, you
them
couldn't change the direction of an object without a force.
Well, you could. Static.
Or with air current.
Air current?
Yeah, it's going from the ISS, wherever they breached it.
Somebody could open up a vent hatch, yeah.
Yeah, and what?
Then
The air would come rushing out and would cause things to move in unpredictable ways.
Air would come rushing out?
Air would come rushing out.
And what do you think would happen to that air?
It would cause things to move in unpredictable ways.
No, that wouldn't happen. They were in space.
Yes, it would happen.
The space.
Would happen. Would happen. It happened.
It leaves the hatch. It has to go out, and it will cause a pressure gradient as it leaves the hatch. And there'll be denser air right by the hatch, and as it goes out and expands and expands, it'll be getting thinner and thinner. But at some point, it'll be denser.
So you're saying that they were able to create an air wall or pocket, which caused the object. What, it pushed off the wall of air?
Are you saying the ISS doesn't have air in it? How do they breathe in, Kimo?
No, I'm
You're
saying
they don't breathe air in the ISS.
No. What I'm asking is, are you saying the object?
Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is, did the object bounce off the wall of air?
What wall of air?
No.
You think the wall forms in? You think air forms in walls?
Well, you need a surface area for it to bounce off.
Scott,
Did it create a surface area?
Scott, do you have any idea how fast? Like, if I had a chamber that had, like, say, 10 to the negative, I don't know, 5, and then I exposed that to a chamber that's 10 to the negative 6. Well, I would think those particles would sort of just slowly disperse.
Yeah, well, they would. I don't know how fast it would be, but they would equalize. They would start equalizing immediately. I don't know how long it would take though. It would depend. Actually, would depend a lot on how much the space that exposes them is. Is it a small hole or a big wall or what?
Just open up the door and I just had a subtle difference. It would just meander out.
Yeah, that's right. Well, what really happens is nothing happens to cause it to leave except for any particle that would have hit the door doesn't hit the door now. It goes through. So it's just the ones that would normally hit the door would now go through.
Right. And they'll come out at the speed that the heat or whatever you want to call it, the kinetic energy just imparted into him. So I guess the reason it would appear to come out slowly is because there's just a few particles choosing to go that
That's
direction.
right, because you have the other one. If you had a high pressure in the other one, it would go rushing out because there'd be so many particles hitting the door.
High pressure meaning more particles. That's what he's saying. More of them, more force. Less of them, less force.
And this was another
I hadn't
interesting.
thought about it that way, but yeah, it makes sense.
Another interesting one today. Also, they're not even using real rockets anymore. So this rocket.
I'm using real rocket.
No, this rocket here glitches out. And
Rocket glitches out.
yeah, I mean, half the rocket disappears. And
Whoa.
they're not even using
That's,
real
I gotta
rockets
see
anymore.
that. That sounds interesting. You have a time? Oh, it's 11 minutes. Any timestamp?
Yeah, let me give you that from. Oh yeah, 5 minutes 20, 5 minutes 17.
5:17.
5 minutes 7. So when it goes up,
Oh, no, it's 6 minutes almost.
disappears.
Chemo, do you have
17.
air?
What?
Do you have air? Are you running short on air or anything? Low oxygen supply, maybe?
Nikes?
He's got a lot of hot air, yeah, Kurt.
Yeah, I have Nike Air.
I didn't ask that.
So you see that, Moyak, it disappears. Why did the top of the rocket glitch out?
I don't see this glitching out. They're just saying about I'm at
Can't explain
currently
that,
at
can you?
5:40. Oh, okay. It was at like 5:40.
Yeah, that's just the beginning of it, yeah. Watch it from there.
Let's see. Why does that happen? Looks like a video artifact.
Exactly. I told you, they're not even using real rockets anymore. We're discovering all these things that are showing that space is fake.
Chemo, like all you've done so far today is your entire evidence on the video you've shown is that looks funny. That's it. That's all you have.
No, the top of the rocket.
Not evidence.
The rocket.
I'm sorry, but this is not evidence.
That looks like a video artifact of what would happen when you're taking a video.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
That's what would happen when you're taking a video, yeah? The top of the rocket
can happen. Depending on the compression and everything, yeah, absolutely.
Sounds normal, sounds normal.
What else you got, Chemo? This is
well,
a
they
little
were the
sad
two
at
big
this
ones,
point.
basically, that show that rockets don't go anywhere. Space is obviously underwater. And then there's
Rocket
no
scientist,
way...
is that you?
No way...
Those are the big ones. That's it?
Is
Well,
that
yeah, I mean-
rocket scientist? Did you see the particles? The
You even said this morning, Rocket. Yeah, you've seen it. I think you even said this morning, you get paid. Pays for your PlayStation, rent, so you don't care if it's real or not.
It was placed. It was a joke. It was a off-the-cuff comment. It pays for my PlayStation and gin. Get it right, at least.
Or whatever it does, it pays for your lifestyle, so you don't care if it's true or not.
No. That other statement you're injecting. I never said that I don't care, or don't imply that I said that.
Yes,
okay?
because we got to a point where we realised you couldn't prove it. Then you said, "Well, I get paid, and it pays for this, pays for that."
No, Chemo, you're misrepresenting me again. I never said it like that. Okay.
Yeah, I got you to a point where it was like, you can't. You're compartmentalized. You can't.
You got me to no, Chemo. I'm sorry to overtalk, but do not say that. You didn't get me to any point whatsoever.
Yeah,
okay,
we got
it's just you're being ridiculous. And to Moya, yes, I've seen both videos before. Moya showed me Chemo showed me the rocket video yesterday sometime.
Yeah, that was this morning.
You've been corrected on this all day, man, about him saying that.
But yeah, we got you to a point, Rocket, where you were like, "Yeah, well, I get paid."
Chemo, he just told you not to say that. You're saying he told you it was wrong. Now you're lying.
Just said, I'm saying what he said.
He just said, "Do not say that again."
That's what he said. Why is he denying what he said?
You lying, Chemo.
The Rocket, did you say it pays for your PlayStation?
No, the part about you saying
it plays my PlayStation and Gin.
And Gin.
I was like,
Right,
it was,
so
and
we
I
were
said on
talking
lecture,
about-
it pays my PlayStation and Gin. That's
exactly.
that's
so
my
we
job.
were talking about compartmentalization, and I was showing you that you only have a need to know basis, that you can't find out the truth of what's going on. And then you were tired, you were frustrated. It was at the end of that discsion, and you were like, "Well, I get paid. It pays for the gym, pays for the PlayStation." So
need to know is above top secret, man. If he had a need to know, then he would have more information. So I have a top secret.
Well, commercial space. It's not like we're doing military programs. There's nothing really. There's intellectual property and corporate security, but there's not like top secret stuff in what we do.
yeah, but you can't verify that the rockets and satellites are actually orbiting.
Chemo, I work for a launch provider.
Approved for a
and I had access to all the systems that are on board. What compartmentalization is there? Now I work in the satellite.
If it's not top
satellite
secret,
side.
then why don't you start showing stuff and proving it?
What do you want to see?
I want to see
I'm
you
not
go.
for my company, but I can show you anything that's publicly available.
Well, get a friend or someone to do it then. Prove your claim.
What do you want to see, Chemo?
Earth as a ball on one of your satellites.
Himawari 8. Well, my satellites are in low Earth orbit. You don't see the ball from low Earth orbit.
All right, I want to see the satellite then in orbit. See, you can't do that because it's not true.
I was contemplating how I'd even possibly do that because the satellites don't image each other. They're not designed to do that.
Yeah, but the satellites would see other satellites.
Oh.
Do you have any idea how big space is and how far apart things really are?
Yeah, the idea of space is meant to be vast, but
How fast things are moving. Like, it's not easy to capture one object like that from another.
No, but nothing goes above low Earth orbit. That's what they've said at NASA.
By the way, at least I just want to point out that at least Chemo's now up to low Earth orbit now. He accepts the ISS and low Earth orbit, so that's progress.
They don't say nothing goes beyond low Earth orbit. They say that people haven't gone beyond low Earth orbit.
Is that true, Chemo? You accept low Earth orbit?
Low Earth. We say things like, atmosphere, but what we mean is, just there. But the ISS is up there, or something is up there, unmanned. Nobody's inside it. Flying around.
17,000 miles.
Xenic is a half step, but it's there. I just wanted to point that out.
It's progress. I take anything.
It's just technology. That's all they've done. They've got 60 million
Now,
a day.
wait, Timo, didn't you misrepresent what they said? Because they never said that we have not had anything go beyond low Earth orbit. We just said that we haven't been to the moon and we haven't taken people beyond low Earth orbit.
Yeah, but you get confused between when they're talking about the model and reality.
No, they've sent many things beyond low Earth orbit.
Not in reality. Prove it. Show something's gone above low Earth orbit then.
I'm just commenting on what you are representing them as having said, and I don't think they said what you said.
To show something going above low Earth orbit on the ground.
No. I'm just saying you're misrepresenting their words.
Yeah, I'm saying to you that we cannot go higher than the low Earth
area. Are you misrepresenting their words?
Nothing can go higher than that.
Kimo, I thought about how you could disprove the space industry, and to be honest, you're doing it totally wrong. If you want to disprove, if you want to prove this is fakery, follow the money trail.
No, you are the key to figuring this out or not. Once you realise that the satellites are not going anywhere, hopefully you won't just want to get paid for your PlayStation and gym. And give that lifestyle up and go with the truth.
Kima, if you're going to disprove, you need to be better than these two silly videos that you posted and pointing at things that looks funny. But that's not enough proof. That's not scientific evidence.
No, they're like...
It wouldn't even hold up in court, for that matter.
McDonald's and keep up that lifestyle, man. He's not trying to keep up his lifestyle, but he's not trying to keep up getting a PlayStation and gin by working on his satellites, man.
Yeah, he's like, look, there's nothing I can do about it. This is what they pay me. This is what it pays for. This is the life I live.
Emo, you're putting words in my mouth again.
No, that's what my opinion is after what you've, how you.
Then please preface that with my opinion is. Otherwise, it comes across as you're quoting me.
No. You said at the end
that.
of the discussion, when you were backed in the corner, you just couldn't take anymore. You were giving up. You were like, well, it pays for my gym and it pays for my PlayStation. That was the end of it. So you know what that means? Because
I don't deny making that statement. I don't like how you're misrepresenting what I said.
I did say that it pays for my gym, it pays for my PlayStation.
I'm not denying that, Kimo. I said that, yes.
Right.
Yeah, you get misrepresented, especially if you say that you'll make up any woo for the flat Earth in jest, since the context was that the globe made up shit too. So the enemy will tend to misrepresent you. Just make sure to have the proper representation. You'll have to repeat it a couple times, since people will try to discredit you and lie about you. Just go with the punches.
People will do that.
Lemon, are we really your enemy? Do you hate us that much? Really?
Already misrepresented me and bring that up often to try to discredit me.
You reference us as the enemy.
That can be verified. So I guess all's fair in love and war, right?
You just referenced us as being at war, and you referenced us as the enemy. He didn't misrepresent you by saying that, Lemon. It's what you said. You said we were the enemy, and he's asking, does that mean you hate us or something like that?
Kimo, I'd like to see some better evidence. I mean, if you're going to make these claims, to be honest, like you can misquote me all you want. I don't care. Go
I
ahead.
haven't misquoted you. You corrected it. You said gym. You said PlayStation. You know, you told me at the end of that discussion. Well, you know, it pays for my gym and PlayStation. So
gin.
It wasn't at the end of the discussion. It's somewhere in the middle. But okay, go ahead.
No, because by that time you were going. You were like, I've had enough. You said I'll play for a little bit, and then you were like, I've had enough now. Right.
Christ.
Like it was 4 o'clock in the morning and I had to go to bed.
You were on the way out. Not a problem, but that's how it ended. Because, like I say, I was pressing you a little bit. I was like, you know, if you know more, show more. You're not compartmentalized. Get busy. But you know, like I said, it wasn't like pressure that was mean. It was like, well, like now, if you know it, show it.
I don't understand this compartmentalization nonsense you keep spewing. Like it may be in NASA in like military programs that happen, but in commercial space it doesn't happen.
Because if any flat earther worked there, we would make sure that we know exactly where that satellite is and tracking it the right way, not just by sitting on a computer watching the screen and then with a pre-programmed program that says, yeah, we're on a ball.
Can you go back a second? Can you tell me what is the right way to track a satellite?
So we would send 2 up. One with a camera to make sure we can observe the other one.
My God.
Get some, just get some live footage or just record it. Anything to show that it's dropping around the ball, going all the way down, all the way around, and then back up. That's how we would do it.
Let's fire that rocket, by the way.
What?
Static firing thing of the SLS core stage.
Yes. What is it?
Any second now.
Oh, it's live.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Kimo, you would reject the footage as soon as someone gave you that.
Not if Rocket did it. Said, look, this is my company. Look, this is my satellite here on the ground. Look at my satellite. Wonderful. Right? Now I'm going to put this satellite with another satellite on this rocket. So then now we're going to record, obviously. It's not even hard. Why? You're acting like it's a big deal. You just put the camera on one of the satellites.
No, Kimo, I've watched you be presented with evidence that you say, if I just saw this, and then say, nuh-uh, 5 seconds
No. He's saying he works, like the video we're watching now with this rocket thing.
It's firing. Holy crap.
Yeah, the video
that's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, this looks real a little bit. But this video here now, if we were in control of this rocket now, we would give you the right camera angles. We'd have a camera facing straight up, straight out to the horizon, looking down, and then we wouldn't cut it at any point. So if we were going to cut, we would have one screen like that guy with the box in the top left. where it's always one view, always. So he's cutting, look at the cuts. So we need that constant one view that's towards the horizon. Okay? So you can see the board drop away as you enter into space. But look at this. This is a show now. Look, showing smoke, showing the exhaust. I mean, that should be in the small screen.
Chemo, that's not exhaust. That's water vapor.
No. I'm just saying
that's
fire.
just there to cool. That's just there so that the exhaust doesn't melt the launch pad.
I'm just saying whatever's coming out of that. Why are they showing that? That should be in a little screen while they keep the main camera on the horizon. And that little box there should be doing all the cuts, the pretty stuff that you need. There may be another little box down the left bottom side and on the right for all that nonsense. That's if we were going. That's how we would do it, or at least I would do it. Not this wide shot here.
Damn straight.
And all the telemetry that's received from that test means nothing.
Don't
like
need
all
telemetry.
the data.
You've got cameras.
I love your telemetry rocket, but when we go places, we like to look forward usually. I know I like to look ahead of where I'm going.
People would have been able to hear it for miles around, Chemo.
What?
People would have been able to hear it and see it for miles around.
What, this rocket here?
Would you need all these cameras to check that it's happening?
Because you can only see it. We've seen Red Rhetorics try to record it, and he can only see it once it goes so high. It disappears. You can't see it anymore. So we need the camera on the rocket, looking at the
right. We're back on the satellite. Okay.
Yeah. So Rocket would say, look, this is
silly anyway.
He's like, this is... Did you see that glitch? On the water? Did anyone see that? No way. Saw CGI. Saw glitch. But anyway, look, again, another cut, zooming in. It's just a big show. Instead of just keeping the camera on the horizon, like I said, so we can see the Earth drop away. And that's how we would do it. And that's how Rocket should do it as well. If it's his company, he's got access to the satellites and the rockets, just do it like that, Rocket, and then it shows that they're on the board. But you won't do that because, like I said, it pays for your gym and it pays for your PlayStation.
I just re-listened to that clip with Rocket. He doesn't say that. He actually, what he asks you to do, specifically, right after he says that, and you first accuse him of that, he gets upset at you and says, don't ever assume what I know and what I don't say what I know and what I don't know, or whatever. He said, just ask me. And then he proceeded to continue to say that. But he was talking to Druss, and then you started bothering him again about it. He was trying to go to bed, and he says, yeah, okay, Chemo, okay. I was like, and then like, I'm done with you, Chemo. And he says, oh, I'm done with you. And he's like, good, we're in agreement. We're in agreement, Chemo. So then you said, hey, you're being deceived. And he said, oh, well, I guess, maybe he said, yeah, it's paying for my PlayStation. Yeah, you accused me of being deceived.
Excellent.
And he said, well, if I'm being deceived.
Excellent stuff.
He said that deception is paying for PlayStation and gin.
There you go.
Yeah, he's not saying it. He actually told you that if he's not claiming that he knows things that other people, like people like you, are claiming is happening. He doesn't know anything. It would have to be deception, which is the case.
Yeah, he was like, I'm done. I was like, yeah, you're done, because that was the end of it. And you tried to play, but obviously it wasn't as fun as you thought. Because obviously when you're asked to provide evidence, it's not so fun if you can't back up your claim. And
he didn't say anything like that.
No, I'm saying that now.
No, but this wasn't what was said.
But I'm just saying that he was tired a little bit. Fair enough. Getting to the end, and what you just said happened, Jack. Like that.
And what does that prove, Chemo? Like, what is your conclusion from all of that interaction?
That you're unable to back up your claim. It's all a secret. Either you know what's going on, and you're just
that rockets don't work in space and satellites don't exist?
No, either you know and you're delaying the inevitable, or you've really been deceived, and you're like, well, why would they lie to me? Of course they're saying that. You've got that attitude.
Who are they? This is the whole part that always amazed me. Who is this mysterious, they?
Well, I mean, like I say, you're obviously not then as high in this system as you think you are, okay? Because there are people manage, watch what you do, make sure you don't do the wrong thing. If you try to find out if the Earth is a ball or not yourself, they'll come down on you like a ton of bricks. So you can't just go around doing things yourself, like just putting cameras on things.
How do you know that, Chemo?
I'm just telling him why now. I'm telling him why. He thinks that he's the top of the pyramid, but he's not, because he's being watched constantly. So if he were to try, I tell you why. If he were to try and put cameras,
who else would be above
I'm telling you now.
He's the guy designing the ship.
I'm trying to tell you now. If he were to put cameras on as we're telling him, then the people would come to him and say, "What are you doing? Why are you doing it like this?" Those people are the people we're talking about. Right? You don't have the freedom to just send your satellite in any direction, send your rocket in any direction, north, south, send your satellite over the north-south pole. You can't do that. You need clearance. Gotta make your calls.
Chemo. I stop you there. The satellites that I work on are in sun-synchronous orbit. They're over the poles.
No, again, you couldn't show that. That's the model. That's the computer program. That when you first use your computer, a program was installed that you just used. You understand?
What a bunch of nonsense.
Well, I'm just saying, if you went out on your own back, say, right, I'm going to prove these flat earthers wrong. I'm going to show them that the Earth is a ball with a real camera, real stuff, all this real. You would come back. No, you wouldn't even be able to. They would clamp down on you before you know it. You would be out of a job. And
who are they? I asked you this before. Who are they?
Well, do it then, and you'll find out who they are. The people watching you, listening to you right now, making sure that you don't do the wrong moves and say the wrong things.
I'll be the company psychiatrist.
Well, like I say,
we've got a rocket scientist who's gone mad, started slapping cameras on satellites that we don't need. We need to sort him out.
Oh my gosh, you see?
Worried about that rocket.
Jen's like, don't do it, Rocket. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's hilarious.
You ever get worried that if they that someone might find out that you're on here and
my engineering team knows I'm on here. They have it slipped out. I never live it down now. So
ever accuse you of being a flat earther?
Oh yeah, I get jokes like that all the time. So
look, it's a sinister world.
Hey, everybody,
go on, Don. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No,
Chemo, I used to try to 1v1 or at least step up the rocket a lot, man. I'd be calling out this portion of the chat has been, "Are you smarter than a rocket scientist?" Brought to you by Professor Don and shit. Y'all got to cut all that shit out and send it to Rocket's buddies. Rocket, you better let them hear. Better let them hear the highlights, baby.
Careful with, yeah. That's why I don't I'm reluctant to show people in my family.
Look now, they're showing a satellite.
They get said sometimes.
But you might get clowned by a flat earther.
Kosho, are you watching the live stream, Kosho? Look at the satellite that they're showing, the CGI satellites. What is this all about?
Which live stream?
Why not show the real satellites? What's the problem? What's with this cartoon? Cartoon Earth.
Kimo, you can see Starlink. You can see the satellites in the chain formation.
I'm asking right now, why are they showing any animation whatsoever? Show the real thing. I'm watching it now live. They're on the moon now. Look, now there's two people talking. But why would they need to show any animation if it were real? Doesn't make sense.
Are you streaming it?
Because they haven't got anything there filming it. That makes sense, doesn't it? It makes sense. So we're all right. We got that problem solved.
Yeah, but if
we have the ability, we have zoom out the ass. We have satellites everywhere. We have reconnaissance probes. We have, come on.
Hold on. So the angle they just showed
being mental. Come on.
The angle they just showed that.
Come on, you can do it.
Look, listen.
Don't be mental.
Come on, please. So the angle they just showed them satellites from. Why don't they just have a camera in that position in reality and just show the real satellite? That's what we're asking.
Why would they do that? But why would they do that?
Because they have to show cartoons. Why not show the real thing?
Asset verification and protection.
I mean, we're adults. We can see
and the signals from the satellites are not enough to verify that they're there.
Right. No, lack of camera that points to it. Plus, I don't think it's launched yet.
Kima, the amazing thing is that at our ground stations, we have to actively track the satellites. Somehow, magically, we point the antenna in a certain direction, and we receive the signal about 5 seconds after.
Let me tell you how they do that.
After acquisition, and
How
as
do
it
you know
tracks
they're
the
not going
satellite,
off?
it keeps receiving the signal, and then the signal gets lost within about 10 seconds of when
I
we
can
think
tell
we're
you
going
how
to lose the signal.
I know how they do that. So they've already got like balloons up there which are switched off, and then when obviously they know you're sending something up, they switch them on and then get you ready to put your angle or your signal in the right position.
Okay, Chemo, show me a balloon that moves at about 7 kilometers a second.
Yeah, Chemo, we got a new one for them. It's that they're going up there, but these satellites are made of a material that when super, super cooled, it can be magnetically quantum locked to up in the space barrier area up there, right? And so this might be doing and the path and where it is and say this, but it's happening under something different. And therefore, they wouldn't want to show us exactly the real deal because we'd figure out the true secret technology.
Did you say super cooled and quantum locked in the same sentence?
Yeah, you know, whenever you're using superconductivity, supercooling and superconductivity to get that effect, you have to actually, just like you do with a permanent magnet, you have to
put the charge, right?
We have to put it in that magnetic field that you're gonna.
Right. So your rocket goes up there and puts it in that magnetic field.
How?
By putting it up there.
No, but I'm saying you have
throws
to
it out the window.
You have to put it next to a magnet and then freeze it.
Right. So space is frozen. So space will freeze it because that's what space does. It's frozen already. And then Earth has the magnetosphere. So you're putting it next to the magnet. So you're qualifying all the things you're saying, Kosha.
How does it remain frozen in sunlight?
Because it's in space. There's not enough. There's not enough stuff to conduct the heat to it. So you know what I'm saying? Like that little baby sunlight.
Radiated. What about the radiated heat though?
That's what we might figure out is the bullshit if we actually get the cameras up there.
Yeah, no such thing as
So,
radiation, right?
do you notice how the convoluted nonsense that you've come up with, not only have you no evidence for it whatsoever, but it's more absurd and complex than a rocket that goes to space?
Oh, maybe that, yeah, but it's better than balloons.
Oh.
I mean, come on. It's better
What
than
you
balloons.
have just said is not better than anything.
Way better than balloons.
No. It's horrible, Don. It's so bad.
Because you guys always go to your position. You always want to say the distance and the speed. So I can give you all that. See, that's why this is better than balloons. Because I can give you all your distances and speeds. I could just say it's up there in a different
I know,
way.
but that way you described is not possible. And the balloons.
Because you don't know the occult secrets. I know you don't think it's possible because you won't want to see the camera. If you actually wanted to look forward on the camera, you might understand it might be possible. But obviously, I'm exaggerating a little bit.
Radiation and ice thing. The IR, the radiated sunlight. Light's not gonna. I mean, ice is not gonna stand up in space to sunlight.
200 degrees Fahrenheit or
What do
something.
I disagree. I just disagree. I don't know.
Okay.
If
space is cold.
No,
You can't prove that.
no, it's
Prove
not.
heat in space. Prove the heat in space. Prove it. Show me heat in space.
Calm down.
Dude, it's not hot, it's not cold. Space is temperatureless.
See? Temperatureless.
There's no such thing as hot or cold when you're referring to space. It's
Right.
only
Hot is
material.
relative. Hot is relative to cold, right? But nothing is equal to cold. Nothing equals cold.
You're going about this all wrong.
Nothing equals frozen. It's frozen up there. If you travel into that area, you're frozen.
But there's ice in space, Curve, so how is there not cold?
Don, I'm not going to argue with you about this. You don't have any
that's because
idea
we
what
have
you're
an
about.
answer for everything.
No, I get it. You're locked in a box that might say that it can't work if you stay locked in that box. I'm willing to break out of the box.
That makes you feel better.
Don,
Break out. Be free, Don. Be free. Fly away.
Nobody's saying that there's not some other thing that hasn't been described yet that's not working. We're just simply saying the thing that you've described, the mechanisms that you've said to us
might not work.
No. We're telling you why they won't work.
No, see, that's the problem. That's the problem. You're not the grand arbiter, but you think you are. It's so funny.
No, they're just guessing, Don. Don't take. I mean, obviously they have
guessing,
to have an
bro.
experiment to
The
know
way-
what they're talking about, right?
The way radiative heat works is that it's not gonna the heat's not gonna be retained and transferred from contact. But when it's shining on let's say you have a metal or something like that, a silver metal. Whenever that silver metal is getting sunlight directly from the sun, it's going to be able to give it radiant heat. It's going to be able to heat it up, that surface of that object, or reflect away from it. And it's going to radiate away any heat that it has as fast as possible when it's not shining onto it. That's why they say it's cold and hot. It's because they're talking about actual objects.
I'm just glad the astronauts on the ISS are able to keep warm and not freeze to death. I mean, that right there shows me that something safe is happening, so
they've got heaters, perhaps
wearing spacesuits.
What heat is? No,
And
they can't have
insulation
heaters because they need ventilation. Yeah, and if they ventilate anything in space, it will freeze cold.
If you had like a hot pocket though, and one side of it was not facing the sun, and the other side was facing the sun, they could transfer that radiant heat into the hot side, and the other side could stay frozen.
Right, because if you're familiar with quantum locking, it has to do with something about the crystalline structures and the way that the atoms line up, and so it may be hypothesized. I would like to at least.
You're missing the most important thing about it, which is that there's a nice length YouTube video on it with a quite cool looking demonstration, and
right. So that's one demonstration.
Really what makes
I get it
useful.
Gem, but I've seen. We've seen
look, a floaty thing.
Listen. They're in videos like that. They try to describe what the physicists think is going on at the atomic level, right? No. So it's still kind of up in the air. So also, what if that process is happening?
Not very up in the air, is it? Somebody has a working invention based on that principle. I wouldn't say that's entirely up in the air.
Yeah, and we did this at my school, man. You have to have specific material because they know what that material is going to do. We had to have sapphire wafers, and you have to freeze it, as I said, next to a magnet so that it's in the field of it and stuff like that. So, all these things for it to be the mechanism you're describing, it would have to be basically the same idea. Like
wow. So again, it's so because it has the same idea, and we know how to do this and that, that's fine. But the thing is, man, is we're still guessing what's happening at the atomic level, period, just overall in nature. Right. And so what I'm saying is that, Jem, not like how the phenomenon works and all this. I'm talking about what it looks like on the atomic level. If you were to draw it and design it and all that, it still is a hypothesis. So definitely, boom, atomic level all around. We're still working on it. This is a new niche of that. So we're still guessing on it.
And
right.
What it would look like
if you were to peer into it and draw and have to draw a replica, we're still. We don't see that small. Okay, we don't see that small. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, what I was going to continue on to counter your IR type of thing.
Hold on,
Don. Let me finish it, Kimo. Let me finish it. So what if it's doing the stuff up there, and the IR phenomenon that you're talking about isn't enough to break that for whatever fucking reason you assume it is? Period. That's all I was going to ask. Thank you. Go ahead, Kimo.
Yeah, the sun, Kosho, is not in space. Sun is local. So when you talk about the sun affecting things out there, hot side, cold side stuff, unless you're talking about within the atmosphere, you don't have any evidence that the sun is outside. You've never been to space.
That's a good point. That's a good point, man. Okay, well in that case, it's impossible. It's not cold enough then because the sun's in the atmosphere and the sun's heating up the atmosphere. There's magnets in the atmosphere and it's not going to work. So,
Kimo, quick question. Is the ISS above the sun? You just said the sun is in the atmosphere. You said
yes.
ISS is at a certain altitude, which you accept.
Yeah.
Therefore,
the sun, yeah. I think so.
So the ISS is over the sun.
No. The other way around.
Kimo, I didn't mean to do this.
Don,
I'm sorry.
Don, fine,
I just
man.
had to jump in. No, but he was talking about why aren't your cameras going forward? I fucking derailed. Kimo, I wanted to tag team with you because I do have my screen name.
Well, that wasn't a real answer though. Why it moved?
They
Don.
non-showers, bro. Make them show it.
Yeah, I know, but Don, you're fine, man, because you're actually offering, like I said, these mechanisms and stuff. I mean, if you had presented to us this other video that Chemo showed us, we'd actually have been able to talk about it and see what was going on and what can possibly be going on. But we haven't been offered even an explanation other than it has to be his hand moving it in the water.
Cause and effect, Kosho. Cause and effect.
Sadly, I have to agree with Kosho, is that Don actually provided, I think is what he said, what Don says is ridiculous. But however, at least he put something forward much more tangible than the two videos that Chemo put forth and said that. And basically Chemo's position is that looks funny, therefore space is fake.
No. We've got the cause and effect. Therefore, space is fake.
You're madder than a bag of beans.
Sorry.
No,
do you have a practical demonstration, Chemo? Sorry, that's all I just want to ask.
We can repeat that.
I just
That's not
needed to
hard.
insult him.
No, Kim, just saying that this is a cause and effect does not give what you're doing validity.
Oh,
I
look,
could say
everyone's
this.
being
I
really
could say
mean
that
tonight,
anything is.
so-
I could say that anything is a cause and anything is an effect, and it would have the same validity.
Thank you. If you were being honest, if you were being as honest as us, we'd all be saying very similar things, and that we don't know what this was actually happening because we don't have enough information.
Look, everyone who watched that video, who's left a comment, agrees with what's the observation, what we see.
Let's find out if that's true. Hold on.
Can I look at the
Well,
comments?
it probably
first?
is on Taboo fucking Conspiracies channel.
Yeah, read the
So
comments.
at what minute mark are you guys talking about the video?
It's only a minute video.
When was it posted?
I'll see if I can post it again real quick.
I see a few different NASA SLS ones.
Breaking news, guys. This is the big thing.
Hold on.
Chemo, did you see they failed to dig into Mars?
Who dig what?
The digger messed up. Hasn't it messed up before though? That drill.
I got them on a little bit of funniness.
It did, didn't it? And
They messed up before, and they had to come up with some crazy way to make it work. We still be able to do that or whatever.
I think the wind noise is interesting to listen to.
Did it have to hit itself again with a shovel?
It used a different mechanism to try to achieve the same thing. I forget exactly what happened and how it worked, but basically the original drill, they fucked up somehow, which sucks because there's not like anybody there to fix it. It can only use itself to overcome the problem.
Also, what video are we talking about right now? And do we have an actual source video and not Chemo?
Yeah,
So
we
what
got
we
the
have is
original.
Chemo's video, which is 1 minute long, and then the video that source is, which is 4 minutes long, and then we have what I think is the original 9-hour long spacewalk, but we haven't confirmed 100% that it's the same source video because we haven't found the same scene in that video.
Gotcha. I'll take the
They
4 minute
are
video
basically
versus
project.
Flat Earth. What you gonna do when we come?
I'd
for
love to
you?
know what this Russian guy actually says. Sorry, Chemo, I
It
didn't
just
mean
says
to
something
interrupt
along
your
the lines
lovely
of.
song.
It just says if they tell you something about space, it wasn't that. Don't believe it. Something like this. But that guy in Ukraine extends it slightly.
Oh, that's the wrong video.
Wait, this isn't the Polish astronaut who responded to a.
Nah, it's a
question with
different one.
sarcasm.
No, we don't seem to have found a Russian speaker yet. There has to be one.
Look for his name. Might find the original.
No, there's subtitles.
I did. I couldn't find it. His
Oh.
name's Igor.
Igor.
Oh, I don't know. But anyway, I couldn't find the original, and I have spent quite a long time looking for it. There's when you search his name, it doesn't mention that he ever said that anywhere. The only people who do mention it are flat earthers.
Difficult to make out because I said there's another language over it.
Right.
He did say it, but there's not a pure interpretation because the context is there's laughing and saying people are going to believe what they want. It wasn't like a serious like revealment or something.
You should ask 24/7. They'll know. They have all those. They have everything like that.
So what I thought was kind of interesting was that they're saying that the drill on Mars, it must have been scratching the surface or something at least, right? Because then they said there was dust that got on the solar panels or whatever, from this. So it's a little interesting right there.
Don, there's no evidence that space is real. Why do you think they can go to Mars?
They have evidence. To me, there's no, they have evidence, man. It's
have you ever
hard
seen
to say that.
Have you ever seen like a rocket take off? You look at the Earth and it gets smaller and smaller as you fly away from it. No, never ever
Earth?
seen it. Yeah.
No, they have shown me a series of still pictures though. But I did point out a juncture point that was kind of. But no, it's weird. It's weird, man. There is no hanging out in space video. Looking around,
no,
there's
it'll
only be a micro. It'll always be a micro event.
Yeah, but
you've
never seen the ball.
I see the dust.
You've never seen like the ball, like both sides. So you leave the Earth, you look down, and then you see the curving away, and the ball gets smaller and smaller.
Right, but look, real quick, I wanted to talk about the dust because someone is, I think, showing that. That's what I thought is funny is that it could have like a loose dust, but then a concrete, like right under it, be like fucking. So hard, but still with a little bit of dust. Like it, you know what I mean? Like, because for it to get concrete, I mean, everything is packed. So then what was the thing?
Where do you get concrete?
Just super together, super solidified, highly solidified.
Bedrock?
But
Right.
Don, you said they've got evidence.
How does it have a dust layer, but then an inch underneath it, it's...
Don, you said there's evidence.
Go ahead,
what is the evidence for the globe?
All their stuff that they sell us and tease us with, man. That is evidence. I mean, it should qualify.
So Don, are you a flat earther today? This is what I'm hearing from you.
Yo, I'm real every day. I'm real, Rocket. I'm real.
Can't name
You're
one
real.
thing,
just another word
evidence.
that needs to go after that.
But I think he's
he's on the fence. He's not sure. He doesn't know what decision
real
to make.
hungry, Rocket. Real hungry.
But he look into the evidence that it's not.
If he says he's a glober, he's going to get a hard time from flat earthers. If he says he's a flat earther, he's going to get a hard time from globers. So he's like mixing it up.
He says that he doesn't believe in anything and that you have to be open-minded or some shit like that.
I think he has a belief in his head, but again, he's just to commit to it. Like
he's a fucking idiot.
Hey Don, I want to ask you one question.
There's no reason for the ad hom, Shady.
Are you there, Don? You take a question?
Or for the personal insults, whatever you want to call them.
All right, so will you take a question, Don?
Ad homs are not insults, FYI. They're two different things.
Reporting for rational human duty, sir.
All right, Don.
Hey, Don.
Here's your thought experiment. You hang a thermometer in a vacuum chamber. You evacuate it. It's not touching the walls of the chamber. It's a good distance away from the chamber. Make it whatever size you want. Do you think that you can raise the temperature of that thermometer by simply shining preferably like an IR heavy beam of light or a beam type? You could focus it or something like that, but just using infrared radiation. That's do you think you could raise the temperature of that thermometer in the vacuum?
What type of thermometer?
I don't care.
Okay.
Let's say mercury.
Okay, but does this thing have a lead shield around it, or is your beam that you're shining gonna be directly onto the mercury?
It's a clear container. Lets the infrared through. You don't even see the infrared. How about that?
I don't know what infrared does. Maybe you could tell me what infrared does first before I guess.
Infrared primarily heats. It's how heat radiates away from things. And it's how it heats things up primarily.
I think
Right.
no, Curve. In a real vacuum, you won't get any heat.
Now, the thing is they don't know what it even is, Chemo. They it's an
He's
electromagnetic.
asking you what you
energy.
think,
They
Dawn.
don't.
Do you
They
think there will be
assume
heat?
it's it can propagate through
Dawn,
empty space.
will there
He's
be
wanting me to
heat?
guess on it too.
Will
You
there
know,
be
but I'm
heat?
like,
Just
No one
answer
you
Curve's question,
guess.
will ya? Will there be heat or not?
he's asking, will the temperature raise?
Yeah. So will it increase or not?
See, the thing is, to me, Curve, it's like it's about the sensitivity of the thermometer and the magnitude of your signal. I don't really understand the question on a visual level yet, as far as those energies go, because I'm still questioning the mediums. But yeah, I don't know, boss. I think it's assumed
Medium.
yes. I think your simple answer would be yes. I guess though.
No. Not in a true vacuum.
If you give me yes or no, Curved, I guess the simple answer, I'm guessing yes.
Well, yeah, it absolutely should. I wanted to know what you thought about it.
Yeah,
You don't
again, I
really
know the
seem to
simple
get-
answer should be yes, but I don't understand deep enough about what's known and unknown at the top of the field. Either way, but yeah, that's kind of the stuff I want to be talking about. You know, that's why I bring up these radical things like this.
Would you be down with like maybe getting a vacuum chamber?
Right. So for that, it's
Are you
like
curious
what
enough to
I'm
do it
actually
yourself?
more down it. So for me, it's like that variable that I want to play with is actually up in the zone. Me and Chemo are kind of putting on the stage right now, and it's like instead of doing anything here and saying, "Oh, we've done this and we've evacuated, created this pressure, or that pressure, like or whatever," to me, I just want to go. I want to go up there where I'm already saying it must be no pressure or no materials. And I want to do it up there. You know what I mean? That's why they're doing things in the ISS, right? That's why I want more casual footage of look, this is a Shark Tank. Look, these are our 100 Shark Tanks that we've sent just off into space junk land. Like I want dozens and dozens and dozens of experiments up there in that medium curve. And the fact that it's just dicking around on the ISS, that's kind of why I piggyback Chemo on
Kind of
these.
rambling, Don.
Too far, and you're not answering the question.
No, but he knows what I'm saying. He knows. But yes, I would do it. We would create it right up there. I'm not gonna make any assumptions on the man-made one curve because it's still gonna have material in it, right? Or down here. How do we say there's no material there? Why would we do that?
What?
You're like, you make a vacuum chamber. Would you were gonna say, what do you think about this type of experiment or step? And step one was vacuum chamber. No, I don't believe I know what a vacuum chamber here is in a scientific lab. I don't believe that thing that's had, vacuous pressure on it that still is telling me there's just this tiny bit of nothing of molecules that was in there before. Like, I don't want to.
So Don, so what would heat
stipulate
up?
with that setup.
What would heat up if he got the thermometer in the vacuum? You're saying there would be an increase in heat or temperature or something. But what exactly is heating up?
The infrared.
What is it?
The radiation heating up the thermometer.
How?
No transfers heat.
Energy enters into the system and excites the particle movements.
Heat is the transfer of energy.
Yeah, but how are you going to make the temperature rise when there's nothing to heat it up inside the vacuum?
By the interaction of the radiation and the thermometer.
Yeah, that's not going to heat it up.
You're transferring the heat.
It
to
will
whatever
heat up.
it is. Yeah.
Have you tested this?
The infrared will heat it up. No, I understand the principles, and I've seen it put in use in real life in situations that there's no reason why it would not work.
No, not in a real vacuum. Be able to heat. That's like
You
saying
can show no counterexample for why it should not work.
that's like saying the sun can heat up in space. There's no heat in space, is there?
Correct. Not the space itself, but the radiation can travel through space and it will heat objects that are in space.
Yeah, that's
know
your
that.
theory. Yeah, because the sun is not in space, so you couldn't show that in a vacuum.
Okay, I'm not down with this derp, Chemo. If you want to play this game, play with somebody
Well,
else.
show it then. Show in a
Don
vacuum
wants
that
to
you'll
get a
increase the
vacuum
heat.
chamber and prove this to himself. Don is a big boy. He's fully able, capable to do it if he really wants to know. If this is an issue for him, this is a hang up, he can overcome this hang up by simply doing this test.
Not to mention chemo. If it was the way you just stated, anything we put into a vacuum chamber should begin to fade out of existence and become more difficult to see. The harder.
Right, in a
vacuum
true
that it
vacuum, I'm
That's
talking about.
That's just simply
Right.
wrong.
And Curve, I'm gonna be listening AFK for a minute, but I do want to say yes, and I respect the data that's being collected already in these demonstrations, but I then want it to be done up there too. You get what I'm saying, Curve? That's all I really be wanting to show you, and I mean that sincerely. Thank you. Peace.
I mean, that's pretty much what you guys have is just thought experiment. I think.
What the fuck is that?
Chemo, what's a thought experiment?
Sorry?
What's a thought experiment?
What would work in a vacuum and what wouldn't?
Chemo, going back a second, if the sun's in the atmosphere, why can't we just get there by, a helium balloon?
Have you tried? No.
Personally, no.
I
Can't say I have.
want to see that experiment. Do you have a video of us trying to go to the sun using a balloon, chemo?
No, we haven't tried, I've said. Nobody's tried.
Well,
Chemo, if it's in the app, sorry.
When you tell people it's 93 million miles away and they're not going to try, if you tell them it's local, will attempt to fly into the sun.
Well, in that case, since you've postulated that it's in the atmosphere, why don't you try it, chemo?
Well, there's a lockdown now.
Lockdown keeps you from flying a balloon?
Flying to them. Allowed to go out
Yeah,
unless it's essential.
The funny thing about
Hey, Jim, can you go outside?
I said essentials only.
The funny thing
Is
about flat earthers, sorry, is that they're not willing to try anything. Like they believe in this whole ice wall but they're not willing to travel to Antarctica to prove it. So, yeah.
Want us to go to Antarctica?
Yeah.
I think the higher statement is we'd like to see you do just something.
Just an ice wall,
Exactly.
dude. Ring of
Something.
ice around the edge. Why do you want to go there? Ice.
I think you should go there and validate that it's an ice wall.
Well,
Hey,
how
Kimo,
else-
didn't you have a GoFundMe or something like that, or some on the
I
platform?
made one for us.
Oh, okay, to send
Oh,
Kimo
God,
to the.
no. I was going to go, but I saw the footage and it just looks like vast land of ice. I mean, what were we going to do there? There's nothing to do there.
Yeah, guys, don't ever make a GoFundMe for the flat earthers. That's not gonna go well.
No, it's fine. But I will only support it if it's a one-way trip.
Well, that is a one-way trip. You're not going around the ball. That's your final destination. If you fly into the dome, or edge or something. Death. That would be a one-way trip. But again, it's just ice. Nothing's there really. They've gone down trying to dig through. Seen them dig under the ice. Yeah, there's not really much going on down there. What you need to do is show you can go all the way around. From north to south.
They did.
It's called One More Orbit.
Well, you say that, but again, you fail to show.
A lot of people went around the
satellite
Earth.
actually orbiting.
There's footages on YouTube.
No, Rocket. You know, like I
Is
said,
it-
if we were in control of your company, we would guide
It
you.
would go bankrupt.
They'd be bankrupt.
Yeah.
Well, there'd
All
be
of the
no
money
need
that
for
the
it to
company had as
exist
cash on
anymore,
hand
right?
would be turned immediately into marijuana. All the rocketry would be sold. They would destroy the data. It would be a fucking mess. You guys wouldn't know what to do with a fucking company.
There wouldn't be need to exist like the day or two afterwards. Rocket. That it's a flat plane, no curvature, no orbits. So unless you're doing it for your PlayStation and gym, you wouldn't really want to be there, right? Exactly. My point. So, I mean, that's what I say. Some people already know it. Or some people just so wielded by it.
It's funny listening to Chemo to deny orbits and satellites when he uses a smartphone with GPS.
Never shown an orbit. Can't just say orbit, orbit, orbit.
Chemo, you accept the International Space Station. That is an orbit.
No. We see it just in the sky and it just disappears over the non-geometric horizon.
So then how are you supposed to, just for shits and giggles, how do you show an orbit?
I mean, how do you show an orbit? You show it going around the ball and back to where it started. How do you show it?
Well, orbits don't work like that because they're non-repeating. So
when
that's
we watch
one.
the moons around other planets, so-called, they orbit. You want to see it like that, go around and then come back again.
That's what the ISS does.
No, we just see it go across the sky. And then over the non-geometric horizon.
So at what reference point do you think you're going to be able to see this from the ground?
Well, that's like I just said, from the ground you just go across the sky until you reach non-geometric.
Exactly. So how are you supposed to show an orbit?
I just told you, if we were in control of the company, we would have 2 satellites sent up at the same time, watching the other one, and then we'd see it go around the ball, and we'd know where it's left from, so we could say we're at this place now, we're going to go around the ball, and then come back to where we started.
Chemo, you would never accept that because it would be CGI. What are you talking about? Give us
I said
something
if
you would
we
accept.
were in control, we wouldn't use CGI. We'd put a real camera on one of the satellites, deploy both of them at the same time, we'd have a little bit of slight lag. The one is in front of the other. Then we just watch it go around the ball.
We're not putting you in charge of Chemo. We're not putting you in charge of Rocket's company. Give us something you'll accept. Chemo,
God,
we're not
that's a
putting you in charge
terrifying
of
thought.
Rocket's company.
No, I'm just
so
saying
give
if
us
Rocket
something
wanted
that's
to be
doable that you'll
honest
accept.
and wanted to know the truth, this is what he would need to do. That's only if. But right now he's comfortable. His life is good. Gets good benefits. Probably get a good pension. I mean, he's not going to prove the shape of the Earth and lose out on all of that, right? Got a future. He's got things.
It's got nothing to do with the Chemo. And I hate and the implication of what you're doing by saying that, I don't appreciate.
No, but I've asked you, if you knew it was
Chemo,
flat,
you
would
have
you
to
still
realize
work
how
there?
rude, insulting, and just genuinely how big a piece of shit you sound like when you say things like that.
Would you still work there, Rocket, if you knew the Earth was flat?
Chemo, the Earth is not flat. Okay,
But
so cut it
would you
out.
still work there? Would you still work?
Misnomer, you're asking me to accept a position and then comment on it, which is bullshit.
No, I'm asking you, if you figured out that the Earth is not curving, the satellites do not go around, would you still work there pretending
Non
that they go
sequitur
around?
question. It's a ridiculous question, Chemo.
There you
Can you imagine? Can you imagine what that must be like to be asking? What rocket scientists must feel like being asked that absurd question.
What? Well, I don't know what he'd
That's
do. What would he
just
do?
the idea that everything he does is all just being fake.
Everything. And that's
and
why
that none of the people he works with and him, none of them have noticed this. They've all just been tricked. But you've spotted it. It's just so. It's so nuts. You might as well just sit there telling us you're Napoleon. It's ridiculous.
No. Nothing like that. Look, we're not like, supreme. We're just regular people, looked at the evidence, and we're saying to Rocket, if he's telling the truth, then he should be able to do the things that we ask, if it's that simple. But he's not doing it. He's following orders, and if he did try to do anything like that, he would be...
Wait. What level of arrogance do you have to think that I would need to do anything for you?
Yeah, what you've got to do to keep up with your claim, to back up your claim here, to act like...
No, that's not what you said previously.
What?
Is because that I'm not doing what you want?
No, not just for me, but just for the truth of, everything, for mankind.
No, this sounds like it's what you want, Chemo.
You'd be showing everybody, yourself mainly, right? You'd be showing you that you now know the truth, and you. But the question is, would you still work there? And I hope you wouldn't. I hope you expose them all.
You know what? You're an idiot.
Again, I understand your probably friends are listening, and it's got to be careful what you say. So, but the point is, if you ever decide
Sitting at home, you bonehead.
a year before you retire, do it, Rocket. Just get the satellites up there, get the cameras on there, and just go for it. Got nothing to lose. Half a year before you retire. No, you never retire and say, "I didn't try at least prove these guys wrong." Obviously, now you want to, have your years there. But
what the hell do you think his job is? That you think he's just gonna be able to put two satellites next to each other and send them up into space?
He's in control of rockets and space satellites.
I appreciate you thinking that I have that much authority and control, but I don't. Okay.
Guides the entire company, tells them how to spend all of their money. The money that they probably take. So I don't know how many years does it take you to send up one satellite. I don't know how long that planning takes, but I mean, you got time.
No, because just the way he talks about the telemetry data, like it's just a simple thing. Like, oh, look at this screen. Oh, look, Tasman on the ball. Oh, da 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 da. Like, if you really
telemetry data is a hell of a lot different, Chemo, than financing, building, and sending two rockets. Tracking.
Yeah, but
that's like saying that it's Chemo. Tracking a rocket is a hell of a lot easier than being the one to send it to space. It's a hell of a lot cheaper too.
Right, can I ask you
if I can point out, sorry.
Go ahead, man.
I was just gonna say, Chemo, you showed today 2 video evidence that this looks funny, and that was your whole position. Why would I waste time, money, and effort to produce a video when in the end that's all you're going to be doing anyways? You're not going to accept
again,
it.
You're going to work closely with flat earthers again, because now you understand something's not right.
Please, Rocket, I beg. I'm already disturbed that people at your work have taken the piss out of you about your flat Earth thing, which means that already some seconds have been spent on flat Earth in your workplace, and that is true. That's already too much. So please, never, ever, ever spend a moment thinking about flat Earth when you're at work, please.
Well, it's for comedy relief. That's why we do it, right? So.
Yeah. Well, I guess that is okay on that basis.
Can I ask you, Mr. Rocket, just based on, I don't want you to be specific about your job, but can I ask about some of the details, like, for instance, SpaceX, other than the Starlink, they generally act as a contractor for other people's satellites. Does your company work on setting up satellites that you personally that are owned and operated by who you work for, or are you more on the sending them up there?
No, so my company is a remote sensing company. Basically, we take images of the Earth. So we design and build our own satellites, and we contract the launch out to different launch providers, depending on.
Now, so what you do, you build a satellite with a hidden camera, to your specs and stuff, and you just say, look, this is just a regular satellite, nothing wrong here. Can you set it up for me? And obviously, when it comes back, you're going to retrieve it. Footage, you're going to show us what they saw, stuff like that, Rocket. That's what I mean. Don't give it to anyone unless you oversee.
Just drop this dodgy satellite on the conveyor belt, Rocket, and it'll just, they'll just whack it in with all the rest and send it up one day.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works. Yeah,
you gotta go pick it up later.
Well, the thing is, Rocket, we need more. We need more from you guys.
Chemo, you have to bring the Poe back a little bit. That hook was too shiny. You're not going to get very many fish with that one.
Rocket, do you know how many flat earthers want to talk to you because you're a rocket scientist, right?
Oh yeah. I have DMs full, right now.
Yes,
exactly.
I'm sure.
Bring them in, Timo. Bring them in.
They're desperate to speak to a rocket scientist, and here's me talking to an expert. And we were almost there, rocket scientist. We're almost there. I could feel you were thinking about what can I do more than just show a computer.
You can be our Stacy, Chemo.
But-
You can go invite people to come debate rocket scientists.
But don't want that because obviously that would.
Does anyone else just find Chemo's general way that he does this to be insulting?
Rocket's the key here.
Hey, Rocket.
I appreciate that, but no, I'm not. Yeah, what's up?
Do you reckon on Monday when you're going to work, you could ask all your work colleagues how you could have all been fooled on such a grand level?
I'm already a bit of the laughing stock about flat Earth. Last thing I want to do is put a spotlight on this again.
If you're as big as asshole as me, I would do that exercise where you just give them the flat Earth arguments and see what they come up with.
They're mocking you already, Rocket. Ask
Everybody
them for evidence of a globe and see what they say.
What in the hell are you talking
Say
about?
to them who measured the Earth, who's got the rotation, and ask them how do you have gas pressure next to a vacuum. That's what they say. If they say gravity, you can tell them it's not a force. Huh?
It'd be interesting though, but like I said, I know you probably don't want to.
No, I don't want you to lose your job or anything like that. And I know the risk of speaking about this. You know, in fact, I don't.
Of saying retarded shit when you're supposed to be in a job where you're really clever.
I'm quite.
Not what you mean.
You've ruined it really.
They're gonna say your resume said you took fluid mechanics.
No,
Clearly, that's
you've
not
ruined it now,
true.
Rocket, by telling them that you're talking about flat Earth. Now they're onto you, right? They're thinking anything that you do, they've got to observe, double, triple, because you are now a threat to national.
Everybody has their at-home quirks, and people find out about them, and everyone's got something.
No, Rocket even more so because he brought it up at work.
I know that's
Never
they
have
find
done
out
that.
like something you watch at home or something like that, or something.
Not
you
if
do
he's
on the
going to
weekends.
prove the shape of the Earth. But if you can get them to think that you're
You never heard Rocket's story when he talked about he was talking flat Earth with his coworkers, and then 3 days later these guys in black suits came to visit him at his house. You don't know that story?
Funny. But if you can get these guys, Rocket,
Jake, I told that in confidence. You can't share that.
Rocket, I'm saying you get these guys to think that you're a glober again, yes, and that you're not into flat Earth and stuff. They won't be so suspicious when you actually do go to.
Right, but Kimo, I'm not into flat Earth.
Said they were mocking you for being a
You
flat
totally
Earther.
are.
Well, I realize, as I thought, I'm sitting here talking on this server, so technically,
Yeah, but behind
from
your
some
back, they
perspective,
think
I-
you're
in
a
it,
flat
mate.
Earther.
Sorry.
They think you're a flat Earther behind your back. Huh?
One of us.
You're part of the flat Earth community on YouTube, Rocket. How about that?
No, that is true. Yeah, there's no escaping that.
No way they think he's
Yeah.
a flat earther behind his back, though.
Of
Even
course
if they've
they
joked
do. If you
joke about
bring
it
up
with him.
flat Earth and you're all globers, behind the back, when he's away, they'll be like,
Satellites to space that he monitors.
can you believe
I
what
don't
he's
think
just said?
if they're listening to him because they're underneath him.
Kimo, can I just add, like, you do realize that the whole business model is we take images of the Earth and we sell them to various customers.
Mhm.
Don't you think those customers would eventually catch on that what we're providing is just crap? If
No.
indeed is what
No
you're saying,
chance,
is these
no.
images are
No
fake.
chance, no way. Unless we tell you, all right, where's the customers? We'll put them.
Chats.
That's a
It's
good
your
one.
customers.
All right, so now I'm just going to provide a list of customers to Kimo, right?
Yeah, let's speak to the customers and then let's see when we tell them. But you're saying that they buy them because they think they're real. But if we speak to them, we will raise doubt, right? And they'll be like, "Well, are they actually real?" Then you'll be under more pressure to prove it, right? So, yeah, these
Seek
people.
that out.
What?
How would he seek that scenario out?
Got a
Seek that
customer.
out.
Yeah, give us a list of your customers, Rocket, and we'll give them a call.
That's actually more secure than the actual technologies on the satellites, as
Oh
far as
my gosh! All
corporation
secure,
information
yeah, all
goes.
black
yeah.
projects, all secret stuff. Yeah, the shape of the Earth is a secret now. Classified.
You're mad, Chemo. You're mad.
Well, as I say,
Become a
Rocket is the
customer,
key here,
Kimo.
Gem. Rocket is the man who can open the doors for us. And like I say, many flat earthers want to speak to Rocket because, again, how often do we speak to an expert who sends satellites into what you call space. Not very often.
Suggestion.
So
This is
like a
annoying, Kimo.
special
Do you have
moment.
something else to talk about? Because you're now you're just chasing your tail.
You are a bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course we can always change gear. But David,
Here's the topic for discussion. Should more flat earthers be punched in the street?
Oh damn. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot we saw it this morning.
My impulse to say is yes.
not unless they
Punched,
want to
yes,
end up
in the
probably in the
street,
hospital
not the location
if
I
they
would
beat Dal or somebody, someone like that.
Organized fights, maybe.
Haven't you just been getting lucky so far that you haven't been in more fights?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, it does get aggressive out there. I was almost in one actually out there.
Really? When was that?
That was in Wales. That big guy there. He said his father, sailor or something like this, knows it's a ball, and I said, "Father's lying to you." Like what?
That was dumb.
I kind of forgot I was
Fucking hell.
online or something. I was like, well,
Oh, for
not that
fuck's
he's
sake.
lying, he's just been misinformed. If he got really, faced angry, I said I'd start talking to somebody else. But he still wanted to know more. But I
Stuff that angers people.
well, I'm just saying that your father's. I did say he's lying. That's what made him angry. But then I had to say, well,
Yeah,
he's
you
been...
got off lightly there, Kimo. You were lucky.
Yeah, but
He's
you've got to hear the truth, right? Got to hear the truth. Got to hear the truth. Got to tell these people straight up what's going on. Like I say, Rocket's customers need. Shocking. But yeah, violence. It's going to be. It probably will happen a lot more if you're out there a lot more. Lead to violence. Probably will, like I say, age of it's inevitable. Yeah.
Have you ever talked to a stranger and just offended him about something personal before? Because the story you just told us was exactly that. You met a stranger and then insulted him about something in his personal life, about his family.
Yeah, right. It's
not giving people the truth that upset them. It's doing things like that upset all sorts of people. Some people it doesn't. Some people it does, and they'll brush it off. But some people will kick your ass for less than that.
Yeah, but I mean,
God,
if someone's going to say my dad was a sailor and knows it's a ball like that or something, no, we know it's not a ball. So that's got to be a lie.
You can just suggest, oh, well, maybe, he didn't know
I'm
about
not
something.
online, so...
So is your dad on board with Flat Earth now?
Can't get away with the same shit.
You can't really say the same things in the real world outside.
Kimo, is your dad the sailor now on board with Flat Earth?
No, this guy's father was a sailor or boat, was able to prove that he knows it's a globe, and that his dad's lying.
If that's a true story, I don't think you're a Poe.
He was like, "What do you mean?" Oh, you want to explain like how, and he was getting like angry, and I was like, hey, "Look, I'm going to speak to this guy now. What is your question or something?" But he wouldn't leave. He stayed there. You can see in the video he was there the whole time. I think he got a blue T-shirt, a ponytail. I think.
I want to see that video now. It's
one in Wales. I don't know if you hear the conversation, but you hear that I'm talking to them.
Whose videos were they? Were they your videos or wasn't it?
That was Jason
Jason's or
one in Wales.
I gotta find it. I'll look it up. What's the name of Jason's channel?
Jason the.
Yeah, Jason of the Disbury family, I think.
Yep, so, people are shocked to find out that they've been lied to.
Who are the Dinsbury family?
That's his name. It's a free man on the land thing.
Oh.
So instead of calling yourself Jason Disbury, you call yourself Jason of the Disbury family. So, thereby meaning you don't have to pay any of your debts, kind of thing.
God, that's stupid.
Artist formerly known as Lale.
He also, this was something I heard as well, Chemo. Good bit of gossip. And I wonder if it's true from the truth seeker that he reckons he's living in the van, in his camper van.
Down by a river?
And this apparently makes him, because that makes him officially homeless, and therefore he is exempt from the COVID regulations.
Well, does he have the words
could
"not
live
for
in a
hire"
motorhome,
written on
yeah?
the van?
Yeah. Right, yeah. Have to.
He spells his last name.
I wonder, does that mean either his missus has chucked him out and he's living in the camper van, or I think perhaps more likely is he made that up so that he could get out of paying his fines? You totally do.
How do you spell his last name?
Formerly known as the former prisoner known as Ethan Thompson.
That's what's up, man. How do you spell his last name? Oh, wow. Thanks, Curved.
Because his missus was actually on one of the protests with him. This, when they did that tour thing.
Whoa.
So I don't think she's got pissed off with him.
Hello, Jim.
I'm sorry, Kosho. That's not how you spell
Yeah,
his name.
I know.
Dingleberry joke.
Hey,